Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, in a new improved version, the new and improved Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
It's going well. Yeah, I got a little bit of an upgrade. Yeah. So here's my new avatar. Yes, I know it's not it's not a droid, but it's quite the same anyway. But it's something a bit different. In fact, I was as I was telling Price beforehand, Disney has been getting a little litigious. Imagine that, a giant multinational corporation getting litigious. The I've become increasingly concerned that perhaps
Oh, no.
no, six. Yeah, whatever. Get increasingly concerned that some of my friends' streams, or maybe this stream, might get taken down because they come on and they're like, "Oh, that's not our. You're not allowed to use the image of an astromech or whatever." So yeah, we're trying this. I don't know. Well, I might make some changes. I might make some additions and whatever. But I've got this for now, along with my lovely little speak and spell face here.
Speak and spell. Remember, I used to have something like that.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Hey, how's it going, RJ Godzilla? So, Gavin Unit said I'll have to get used to it.
Listen, yes, it is definitely a bit different. I'm going to have to get used to it as well.
We're trying different things. It's still the professor, so he hasn't gone anywhere. It's still him. And change is difficult, but we'll see what we can do. In any case,
yes.
What were we going to talk about today?
I mean, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, we do not have Spider-Man to talk about, even though that is the talk of the town right now. That's the talk of the internet, because a lot of places, especially over in Europe, have already gotten to have some early screenings. There's been some early screenings over here for press. And so, now we've got a lot of early reviews to talk about. We haven't gotten to see it yet. My showing is not going to be until very early on Thursday, but I think Price is getting to see an early showing on Wednesday.
I'm going to see it tomorrow. I managed to grab one of those early tickets for tomorrow. I kind of want to know where people are watching it today or yesterday. I guess
I think there's just been some special fan screenings, or there's been some special press screenings around. Yeah.
Well, not nobody's given me any special screenings. But,
no, me either.
I mean, I'm still appreciative of the one, that I'm going to see, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure enough. Yeah, I tried to get on that screening, but I was going to have to buy it through Fandango, and I couldn't use my movie pass and everything, and I just decided I didn't care that much. I could just go the next day.
No, I actually have my pass, but I couldn't use it, and I still decided that I want to watch it in advance. If I decide to do a review, I just want to make sure it's all there. Anyhow, but
Gavin Unit wants to know if I'm a transformer now. Not that kind of transformer, I'm not.
Yes, the professor has a completely different. He's a complete makeover.
I surprised Price with a new look today. As I said, again, becoming increasingly concerned about using the astromech design. And I decided to go a total different direction with it. So here we go.
Well, I think it's interesting, and I know you're going to be experimenting now and doing some stuff, so we'll see how things work out.
Yes. So I guess we do have we've got a lot of Spider-Man reviews that are out there now.
True.
So I guess we can talk a bit about that. What other people are saying. There's definitely been some shills out there have been saying some very sort of overly outrageously positive things. And then honestly, there's been some in our sphere that I've heard some early social media reactions from, like Chris Gore. And I saw one from Andre on a Midnight's Edge. Saw him earlier this evening.
He had
posted
seen it?
his. Yes, he got to see an early screening, and had some interesting things to say. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. I didn't even hear Andre's, but that's pretty cool. Let's see what, like, I think the Hollywood Reporter managed to, like, cobble together those kind of mainstream media shills ones, so we can look at that just to react to it.
Sure.
So wait, so Andre posted a review?
Just his early social media reactions. The review embargo is tomorrow morning.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, but yeah, other people have been posting sort of early reactions.
I see. Well, what was his reaction?
Andre had some pretty positive things to say about it. He thought it was probably the second best of the Spider-Man films.
Wow. Okay.
Behind, I think he said No Way Home was his favorite. So this one, really good. A lot of some of the reviews, the early reactions that I've heard have had very similar things to say. Basically, that it's almost like it's two movies. Like it tells a story and then it picks up and starts telling another story.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like it gets through, it sort of has an end, and then now it's something else afterwards. Oh, Price has gone nuclear. What happened? Oh, he's gone. Oh no. Well, everybody gets to see my new background there as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Price. Yeah.
I was trying to share this annoying article. Let's see if it works now. And okay, so Andre said he liked it. He saw it and thought it was one of the better Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, the thing is that let's kind of look at the comments here. We got I thought they would do these kind of things where they round up the tweets, but for now I don't see those. You know how they usually put like tweets of all these kind of jerk offs?
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Where is it that they show like, you know what I'm trying to say? The kind that they round up the
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, there's one here that there's like early. I don't know why my thing is either slow. Am I roboting or do I look normal?
No, I've seen the resolution's been dropping, has been going in and out. So you may be having some connectivity issues, but it's not like completely dropping out. It's just like the frame rate's a little jumpy, and the oh well, now maybe it's dropping. Oh, there's the resolution. You dropped out for a second. You're back. So
Hopefully it's better now because I tried to like kind of turn off the internet and turn it back on. So I'm hoping that does something positive.
okay.
Okay, Spider-Man reviews. Let's see where.
We have what is let's see, Hollywood Reporter or Deadline or one of these. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to Deadline. Maybe that'll be the one that actually shows the. Okay, this one has, I think, some of those weasels. Nope, no weasels. You know the kind I'm looking for. The one
yeah,
that they
yeah.
like.
There's almost like a listicle where they just have all the different people, and everything they have to say. I see one that just has reviews, or just has the Deadline's review.
Oh, my browser has to finish update or something like that.
Ugh.
Relaunch.
Browser updates. Am I right? Yeah. Someone was saying that they would just do a YouTuber. Was that Putin? Yeah. Honestly, I looked at trying to put together a YouTuber or VTuber, avatar. But man, talk about complicated. Unless you want to be an anime character, in which you can do that in like 5 minutes. If you don't want to be some sort of anime character, then it's a complete mess to try and build your own thing. And I was not going to be paying somebody to build a new avatar for me. So yeah, this is this here. I did build a bunch of different layers. Designed a bunch of different layers of stuff so that it would be something potentially I could make into a more interactive VTuber thing. Some kind of a face rig thing is something like that. Like there's different rig tools for rigging up avatars that are more reactive, that can move with you, view your face and stuff. Then you also have to have a camera. You have to have a phone pointing at you to get it to work. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see what I can do with it. For right now, this in OBS using a move filter to make the mouth interactive is what we got.
Did you happen to find the thing where they round up all the weasels?
I found the one on just the review on Deadline. I didn't find like a roundup. Hollywood Reporter. Let's see. First reactions from the premiere. But there we go. Yeah, that one will work.
Okay. Do you want to share? You can share it if you can find it.
I'll just share it here. All right. Spider-Man Brand New Day. First reactions from the premiere. So, this is from a couple days ago, or I guess from yesterday. This one, as it says, hitting in just the next few days. I have to admit, Price. I actually like this much more traditional Spider-Man suit that they went with this time around.
I think everybody likes that. I didn't need like the Iron Boy or whatever they were going for before. I think that, this is one thing that I think people are all kind of excited about, that at least they went for like a more traditional Spidey suit.
Yeah, it's just it's simple and it works, right? It makes you feel more like he is just the street level Spider-Man. He's not fighting off universal threats. He's not trying to to do battle with
traveling
outrageously
in space,
powerful characters. He's just sort of Spider-Man, and he's he's a smaller hero. And actually, honestly, that's where they should have gone with him the whole time. Having him running around in the Iron Spider suit already and stuff like that. The Tony Stark suit with all sorts of crazy technology and stuff in it. This is better. This is better. So let's see. It says it's finally here. Judging by initial reactions, it's going to be a monster hit. I agree. I think this is going to be a huge hit. I think even if this was just a middling movie, Price, I think this was going to do big numbers because everyone loves Spider-Man, and then consistently the Spider-Man films, wherever the MCU has been over the last 7 years, the Spider-Man films have been pretty consistently much better than the rest of what the MCU's been making. And they had their premiere. Destin Daniel Cretton's Brand New Day is the fourth standalone Spider-Man film, the 38th film overall in the MCU, picks up after the action, or after 2021's $2 billion grossing Spider-Man No Way Home. I think this is going to make that much money, Price. I really do. I don't know about you.
I think it's going to make a lot of money. How much exactly?
Yeah.
It also matters how much of a crowd pleaser it'll be. I think that these movies are strong and they'll make money. There have been Transformers movies that made money because people like the Transformers. Spider-Man people like significantly more than that. It's going to make money, but I will say this. If the movie isn't very good and it'll somehow just, skate by on the fact that it's a Spider-Man movie, it'll do fine for this one, but it doesn't, if you don't produce really decent ones time and time again, you may start losing some of the people. Any brand can erode.
Hmm. No, sure, absolutely. I'm no question about that. Some of the early reviews that I've heard, some of the feedback, I think this is going to be a crowd pleasing movie. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to see this up front, and I think it's going to have some pretty good buzz behind it. But we'll have to. I mean, obviously, we have to wait and see. But I think this is going to get at least as much attention as No Way Home. I really do. Let's see. Picks up after the action of No Way Home, led by Tom Holland. And okay. Let's see. Also has John Bernthal's Frank Castle, Mike Mando's Matt Gargan, Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, Trammell Tillman, and Sadie Sink. Okay. The plot of Brand New Day follows the end of No Way Home, with the world, including MJ and Ned, having forgotten who Peter Parker is. 4 years on, Peter is still protecting New York City as Spider-Man, and he links up with street vigilante The Punisher to take on the likes of Scorpion, all while his own powers undergo a new evolution.
I like The Punisher. I like, John Bernthal as The Punisher, and I'm okay with Tom Holland. I still think that for me, Tobey Maguire, I liked him better than both Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. I don't know why. I just felt like, there was something about him that for me, like, sold me. I was a lot more sold. Some might argue that Andrew Garfield was a little more witty with the snappy dialogue when he was like Spider-Man or whatever, and maybe he was. I do think that he was a bit maybe too cool to be Peter Parker. I always felt that, like, Tobey Maguire in that first movie, they sold me on the fact that he was like a dork. You know what I mean? Whereas they didn't quite sell me on Andrew Garfield that he was a dork. He seemed like he was cool, and maybe too cool. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I totally understand. Like, I think Toby did a great job. I think Andrew did a good job. 2 terrible movies, but I thought he did a fine job.
It wasn't his fault, really. But
no, and I think Tom Holland's done a fine job too. I don't really have a problem with any of them. If I were going to go back and say, like, which one was my absolute favorite, it's probably going to end up being Toby, just because I really did enjoy those first 2 Spider-Man films, and they really have a special place for me, especially Spider-Man 2. But as far as, a younger generation, newer generation, a newer actor playing Spider-Man, I don't know that we would get any better than Tom Holland, to be honest. I think he's good in the role. Maybe not my favorite, but I think he's good. Let's see. The full critics reviews are embargoed until the 28th. Movie hits. Maybe there are some that are already being published.
Maybe now, because it's already the 29th. Yeah.
There was one on Deadline. I'm going to have to see if maybe that is a full review, but full critics reviews for Brand New Day.
If we go to Rotten Tomatoes now, is there a score?
There is. It's a 90 on Ultra Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. So here's the ones that we have. Social media reactions from Monday
Jermaine
evening.
Lucier.
Yep.
That's the guy that's like, if you remember, was seemingly very friendly with the people at Lucasfilm, if you remember my investigations.
Yes.
So I guess what I'm saying is that considering how much of a seemingly a shill for Disney at the time, more Lucasfilm, but since we've seen this in the past, I really take what this guy says with a grain of salt. He could be right, but I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what he says.
Let's see what does he say? Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here crying after watching a freaking MCU movie. Are you kidding me? Okay, if we're going to talk shills, that is as shill as they get right there. I'm just sitting here crying to myself after I've after I watched the movie.
I always tell
Oh
you
my
that one of my
god.
best videos ever, the one that like 5 people watched on my, review channel, that I did the investigation into the shills, like, that boost Lucasfilm. I had like a whole chapter talking about Germain Lucier, and like this guy is unbelievable. And when I say unbelievable, I literally don't believe one word this guy has to say. I don't believe him. This is like the fishiest review because it's coming from him. I don't trust him at all.
Yeah, it's a little fishy. A massive movie. Everything's massive. Everything's epic. It's a massive movie that balances like five. He can't even write like a human being. It balances like five stories, like like, uh, through lines in equal measure, each better than the last. It can feel a little overwhelming, but it all comes together so beautifully. It works. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep.
All right. Adam Halavyak. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
I don't either. It's you go. We'll just say. Let's just say like HVAC.
uh, if he lives in Europe, that might be offensive. They don't have AC. My flabber has been gasted.
So weird.
I'm not even sure I can read the rest of this price. It's so
No, do it. Do it. Read it.
Mein Flabber has been gasted. I love Spider-Man Brand New Day. Daniel Cretton and Tom Holland put their hearts and souls into this thing, and it pays off huge. This movie is going to be massive, and we're going to be talking about it for a while. I was floored at how well... Oh, it's going to open another window here. At how well everything is balanced: emotion, humor, action, practical versus visual effects, score, and cinematography. This felt so handmade, even with some of the massive set pieces, and is filled to the top with heart. This was absolutely worth the wait. More soon. Handmade, please. This movie's so artificial. There's so much of this is CGI, please. Mike Ryan, you want to read this one, Bryce?
Okay, hold on. Spider-Man Brand New Day is a much more cerebral follow-up than the crowd-pleasing No Way Home. Such a strange way to describe it. It's Tom Holland's best performance as Peter Parker and the best Spider-Man movie since Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Also, the costume finally looks incredible. I'm okay with the costume. I don't know what else this guy. This guy's like the most vanilla. He just did like a vanilla copy paste tweet, but he put in like the word cerebral just to make it seem like he's sophisticated or something.
Yes.
And yeah.
He had to fit at least one like 3-syllable word in there to make himself sound smart.
It's such a like it's like it's such a hollow compliment.
Matt Neglia at Next Best Picture. It really is a brand new day for Peter Parker as Destin Daniel Cretton takes over for John Watts in the director's chair for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Cretton brings a more grounded, back-to-basics approach to the beloved web-slinger, making this fourth standalone film... Oh, wow, this is a long one. Feel like both a fresh reset and a necessary evolution for the character, giving Tom Holland the space to find new depths in his continually pitch-perfect performance. The inclusion of the Punisher and
they love Tom Holland so much.
Yes, they do.
I'm going to be honest with you. He's all right. He's grown on me. I'm okay with him, but I don't know. I can't say that I've ever felt as positively about Tom Holland's Spider-Man as some of these people here in these reviews. I don't hate the guy. I don't hate him as Spider-Man, but I also like easily if you ask me like if I think Toby is better, on the spot better. And in a way, I even think that maybe Andrew Garfield was a bit better than him. I actually think that out of the three Spider-Men, I think that he's like ranked third.
Yeah, and that's fair. I don't have a problem. Everyone wants something different from their Spider-Man. I don't think he's the best, but yeah, I've never had a real problem with him. He's
No, I don't hate him.
I don't think he's a particularly talented actor, to be honest. I mean, honestly, his performance in the Odyssey was abysmal. But
I mean, listen, I guess I'm already just used to him. But yeah, I
yeah,
don't think I I think that maybe Andrew Garfield, I would say, is possibly the best actor out of the 3, but Tobey Maguire had something that he brought to the table that's it's not just the acting skills, not that he's a bad actor, but I'm saying, like, something about what he brought to the table convinced me more, and like I said, Andrew Garfield in general, I think, is a decent actor. Tom Holland for me is, like, the 3rd ranked when it comes to acting and when it comes to, him as Spider-Man. And I'll tell you the truth, aside from like the last one, like No Way Home, the Spider-Man movies for me were kind of like, kind of mid. The
hmm
first one that everybody was so excited about, I didn't really love it. I thought it was just whatever. The second one was probably worse than the first one. They weren't awful, but I didn't think that they were like amazing. You know what I mean? No pun intended. Uh, then you had like No Way Home, and that one I genuinely liked. But again, both Toby and Andrew were in it, so kind of, and also all the villains and all whatever. So for whatever that was, I liked it, and I think Tom Holland was probably the best in that movie. But again, it's easier to be the best in that movie when you're surrounded by like, you know what I'm trying to say?
hmm yeah.
In any case, I guess what I'm saying is that you could do worse than Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but I am not as like glazing him as some of these people here.
No, I'm not glazing him either. He's fine in the role. He's fine,
Perfectly
and
fine. That's a
yeah,
good way to
yeah.
describe him.
Let's see. This does continue a little bit, and it does have some critical things to say. So, let's say the inclusion of the Punisher and Hulk is fun and provides a typical MCU style of action and comedy, but the movie doesn't fully pick up until Sadie Sink's character announces herself to the world and changes the course of the franchise's future. The pacing and visual effects are inconsistent, and it's nowhere near as funny as some previous installments. Still, the heart of this film and its best scenes are with Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon, and they nail everything that's asked of them by Cretton. Oh, great. The heart of the film is still them, even though they don't know who he is. What?
I mean,
Okay.
this is the part that kind of annoys me. No Way Home was sort of like, a redeeming movie for a trilogy of movies that wasn't all that redeeming, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those first two movies were for me rather forgettable. The first one they tried to make it sort of like an 80s teen movie. I don't know. I mean, it's fine for whoever likes it. I didn't think that it had the heart that the first Spider-Man with Tobey, the Raimi one. I would watch that first Spider-Man over what's his face? Over the first like Tom Holland movie any day of the week. Then the second one, like the Far From Home or whatever it is, if you compare it to the second like movie with Toby, again, Spider-Man 2 eats that movie for breakfast. You know what I mean? So the first two Tobys are significantly better than the first two Tom Holland movies. And quite honestly, the only reason that third Tom Holland movie is worth anything is because like Toby is in it. You know what I mean? And even Andrew Garfield like chips in something. And they brought back like Willem Dafoe and like Alfred Molina and all that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like even that third one that is
yes.
worth something. It's only worth something because it's tapping into whatever the original trilogy, whatever worked there, it's just kind of importing it, which is fine. I still enjoyed it.
You're
But
right. Yeah, it was definitely there was a lot of nostalgia bait that was thrown into that film. I thought that a lot of it worked, but there's also some of it that didn't. And yeah, I get why people enjoyed that movie so much. It was a lot of nostalgia, a lot of member berries thrown into it. But yeah,
I'm going to be honest with
it
you,
was
Professor. I,
okay.
I sat in the theater, and in that shot that all three Spider-Man kind of like jump, I like that too. It managed to somehow get an emotion out of me as well because that's kind of what you want to. There was something about that, certain things you could call it member berries, but at least they were high quality member berries. They
Yes.
were like member berries of the highest order, at least if nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So at least that movie, I thought like, it was redeeming. But I do agree with you. At the end of that movie, they had a perfect setup. All they have to do is forget about. We never see Zendaya. We never see Jacob Batalon or whatever it is. We never see those guys again. He's Spider Man. That's it. That's all we needed. And it was easy. It was right there. It was the perfect setup. They ended the movie like that. He makes the sacrifice. He sees Zendaya in the coffee shop, but he doesn't tell her who he is, and you understand that now he's going to move on with his life, and everybody was happy. That was part of the reason that a lot of people were happy about that movie, because it looked like now we're going to finally get a Spider-Man movie. And what do? Immediately he has to start yearning for Zendaya and Ned or whatever it is. And of course, I mean, based on the commercials, I'm not saying that he's getting cucked, but not only does he yearn for her, he has to sit there and watch her with another dude. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It kind of gives me that vibe of Doctor Strange seeing Rachel McAdams getting married to some other dude or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They love doing that at Marvel.
Oh, they do.
I'm not saying that they can't do that. They did. You had Peter Parker, you had MJ in that one in the Raimi trilogy that she wasn't with him, and then she was with Harry and all that stuff, and then she was with that astronaut guy. So I think he was an astronaut. Was he an astronaut?
I think so.
I think he was an astronaut. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Wasn't he like Jonah
Yeah,
Jameson's son,
I can't remember
astronaut son?
because they like remember there's like multiple different versions of these characters from the comics and the movies, but I think you're right. It was J. Jonah Jameson's son, and he
Yeah,
was
so Putin 3 is like he's stalking her, and that's
It
true.
seems like it. Yeah.
And the truth is, I mean, it's nice to see him do something else with the this could have been a good time to bring, Gwen Stacy, or I don't care what they do, just do something different. We've already it doesn't even have to be Gwen Stacy. It could be just think of something else that we haven't seen. But now I think that there's a problem that nobody is talking about. Zendaya and Tom Holland are married. I don't really know what the deal is, but I feel like she has to be in the movie or something, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. It's like a package deal now. Like you have to.
Cuz look, they did the Odyssey and then they were both in it. I think they auditioned one of them, suddenly they both ended up in the movie. In the Spider-Man, they're both in these movies, and
Is he in Dune 3?
I don't think he is. But trust me, if they can find something for him to do there, he'll appear.
He'll
But
be some nameless Sardaukar somewhere or something. I don't know. Let's see. So this next one, Brandon Lewis. Spider-Man Brand New Day is an ambitious, mature take on Peter Parker, finally trusting him to mostly stand on his own. Cretton crafts excellent scenes of Spidey's powers, and the emotional beats rank among the MCU's best. Easily Tom Holland's most varied, confident MCU work. Okay. I still don't understand how he's sticking to this with his ass. Do spiders stick to things with their asses? I don't know. Brian Davids. Peter Parker is changing, and so is the Spider-Man franchise. Brand New Day is the most emotional, most mature. They keep saying mature. Some other people have mentioned that in their reviews or their social media reactions. This insistence on saying it's mature. It's a more mature version of Spider-Man. Okay, whatever. Most mature, most atmospheric installment in the franchise. It'll meet your expectations in some places and defy them in others. Oh, it's going to subvert our expectations, Bryce.
listen, the truth is, I already can tell where this movie is going, and unfortunately, it's probably going to annoy me a bit. Although I understand that maybe there will be something to enjoy in this movie, uh, based on what we've seen here. And this is not a spoiler. I'm just collecting this non-spoiler stuff from these reviews. And I also actually watched something. I watched that thing that Chris Gore and Alan did, and I think that gave me some more context as well. And they didn't spoil, but I kind of understand. They put Sadie Sink in this movie, and I think that there must be a bait and switch here. You start off watching a Spider-Man movie, you're into it for like, an hour and a half, and just when you think that the movie has about 30 minutes to wrap up its storyline, it's going to be all about Sadie Sink. And I'm not spoiling anything or saying anything, but it's all going to be about her. And that's why they keep saying, oh, let's see how it shapes the franchise moving forward. It's another one of those weird bait and switches. And I feel like Marvel sometimes, just like Kevin Feige, doesn't learn his lesson. Just make I'm sorry, I'm going to be mean now. Just make a fucking Spider-Man movie. Drop Zendaya and Ned. I don't need, Sadie Sink here. I like Sadie Sink, but I don't need her here. Just give me one thing with him. And I would have also added, if you want the Punisher, throw in Daredevil. If you do something in New York that involves Spider-Man, Daredevil, and the Punisher, I would have been far more excited about that.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know. I can't speak for what other people would want, but something more grounded with those guys, that there's some cool thing that they're doing, I would have liked that more. They say that first hour of the movie, there's a lot of cool action scenes, things that you've never seen before that look like the best Spidey ever. I'm probably going to enjoy that. I'll probably like those moments, but for me, I'm willing to accept less effects and less visuals that are the perfect visuals and all that stuff if there's a story at its center that has some kind of heart and cool things going on.
Yeah. Like I said, I just kind of want a grounded New York City Spider-Man movie. It doesn't have to have crazy effects. And no, I don't want any more Zendaya and Ned. I was hoping they were done for after the last movie, but apparently not. They're going to be part of this going forward. I do like, look, we got Spidey here, like working on his own equipment, building his own stuff. Like, I like that. I want more of that.
I do like that. It's not bad, and I want to like this movie. It's not that I'm going into this not wanting to like it, but some of these things seem like red flags. Like, I'm probably going to go out thinking that I enjoyed the movie somewhat, but there's going to be issues. I haven't, aside from some of these weird like shills that are just over the top, insane with their glazing and all that stuff. Most people, I think, that are reasonable will say that this movie is exactly what I described, and I haven't even seen it, but I feel like they're not using the term bait and switch, but I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, you want to take this one, Price?
Spider-Man Brand New Day is absolutely fantastic. Far and away a favorite of the recent MCU installments, which really isn't saying much because most of them have been unwatchable. It's largely about the importance of work-life balance and community, and oh my, do writers Chris McKenna, Eric Summers ensures those ideas hit hard. Can't believe how...
Oh,
I don't know how to read more of that, but
yeah, let's see. Can't believe it. Let's see.
I can't believe how great Tom Holland is. He's the best thing that ever happened, and Kevin Feige is the king of Hollywood. And this is the best movie I've ever seen. Who does this Peter Perry Nemiroff work for? Is it one of those colliders or one of those weird shills?
It doesn't say.
She works for a shill.
Looks like there's a. It does look like there's a senior host producer at Collider.
I told you. I didn't even know. I just kind of looked and I'm like, is that little thing there? Is that the
Collider?
Yeah, of course. It's the best thing that ever in her whole life. She had nothing better than watching this movie. It's the best thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah. The end of the tweet is, can't believe how emotional the film made me.
Yeah.
One beat in particular around the midpoint really caught me off guard. Shocked I was able to rein it back in. Okay, yeah, sure. I am always shocked that any of you professional critics can ever rein it back in. Oh, Jonathan Sim. From a visual perspective, Brand New Day is the best MCU movie by a long shot. Okay. Cinematography is phenomenal. The action sequences are dynamic and well choreographed. And the movie has the same colorist as Drive, 12 Years a Slave, and Euphoria.
Why
do I care?
I've always wanted to go to a movie where the guy from 12 Years a Slave did the visuals.
Did the no, not just the visuals, just the coloring. Just the color grading for the movie was done by the
I
same
want
guy
the same.
as 12 Years a Slave.
I assume that this Daniel Cretin or whatever his name is, he sat there in the editing room and he said, you know what I'm going to need here? I'm going to need you to bring me the guy that that did the color grading for 12 Years a Slave. Please bring me this guy. He's the only guy that can make this
There's
movie
only
work now.
one man who could make this happen. Bring me the guy who did the coloring for 12 Years a Slave.
It almost seems like some kind of parody, but it's a real review.
Oh boy. Brand New Day not only is Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie, it's one of the best Spider-Man films, period. Super emotional, heartfelt, packed with unforgettable moments and amazing direction, perfectly captures what makes Peter Parker such an enduring hero. I left the theater blown away. That's the finish there.
I want to drop a controversial bombshell here. I like even Spider-Man 3 with Tobey. I prefer that over any other Spider-Man, maybe aside from No Way Home, which that one still includes Tobey in it and gives him a little bit of a redemption after the third Spider-Man that wasn't that great. Even so, yes, they made a mess of the third one, and they didn't need the Sandman and Venom and whatever it is. They made some mistakes there, but I still think that third one was better than the two Andrew Garfield movies. I think it was better than that. First two Tom Holland movies better than that. So yeah, I mean, this movie is going to have to work very hard for me to really like it.
Mm-hmm. I know this much. I really wish that Hulky was not in this.
And by the way, we'll get to that thing with the Hulk because I said a comment here the other day and nobody took it seriously. I don't know. Do you remember my comment?
About Mark Ruffalo?
I told you that I thought that in the trailer that we were watching that they didn't show Ruffalo. They just showed him as the Hulk because I said I think that he's starting to become like a problem. So they didn't want to show his face. So they don't want to turn people away from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it kind of just as an instinct because that final trailer really made an effort. You don't see there was a trailer earlier on where he's like showing he's like oh, Dr. Banner, I sure could use your help. Gee. And then like you saw Mark Ruffalo there. That was my Tom Holland impression, but you know what I'm trying to say. So basically we saw him in that trailer, but then in the more recent one they didn't show it. And now also, and we'll get to it afterwards, they don't even want him promoting the movie apparently. But let's what is this one? This review.
Big Gold Belt Media. Okay. One of Tom Holland's best Spidey films yet. Is one of Tom Holland's best Spidey films yet. Well, he only has 4. So it's one of his best Spidey. That's terrible writing. Packed with heart, humor, Punisher chaos, and some MCU best action in years. Thrilling, emotional, crowd-pleasing Spider-Man adventure. Okay. Saw Spider-Man Brand New Day tonight and thoroughly enjoyed it. Felt like a throwback to the kind of effortlessly charming and entertaining movie that defined the golden era of the MCU. Okay. Matt Thomas. An absolute thrill ride that is bumpy along the way. Okay, so not perfect. Destin Daniel Cretton brings us a side of the web slinger we haven't seen or explored since Raimi in Spider-Man 2. Holland is given a chance to share beautiful one-on-one moments with everyone on screen.
It says 1 out of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you part 2 is like Zendaya is so wonderful.
Yeah, it doesn't give me a link to go see part 2 of his tweet though. So
I have to see part 2.
Let's see. Maybe if I click on this, it'll take me to it. No,
you can do it, Professor.
Nope, it's just taking me
There's
to
one man that can
subject.
do it. Here, it says watch on X. What happens if you click watch on X?
Oh, here we go. Okay. It's the Watch on Egg just shows the clip that they were showing this from the trailer. Where's part 2 of his
Part 2. Zendaya is the best thing that ever happened. That's my gamble.
1 of 2, and then he doesn't have a reply with part 2.
What do you mean?
Well, when you say 1 of 2, you're supposed to have a reply that has the next part, right?
So what happened to his number 2? He just forgot about it?
He just didn't post.
What a weirdo. Okay.
I mean, I'm looking here. One
No,
of
I
2.
believe you. It's fine.
Oh no, he just posted it as a totally different tweet.
Ah.
He didn't post it as a reply. Zendaya steals the show.
Come on, Professor. The first word was Zendaya. I told you. I told you that that's what would be there. Come on, Professor. If we were at a casino, would this not be the jackpot?
You
now?
would have hit the jackpot, no question. Yeah, that definitely would have paid off at the table. Yeah,
I knew it. It had to be that the next word was Zendaya. It couldn't be a mainstream media review without that, and that she's the best thing that ever happened.
Zendaya steals the show almost every moment she's on screen, and like most MCU films, this is stacked with cameos. See it with friends, see it with family, see it with loved ones, because at the end of the day, this is a film about being yourself and sharing your life with them.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what to tell you. What do we got more?
Boy.
The movie podcast.
Wait,
some of these people, I don't even know who they are. There's some of these just like...
Wait, we already saw Daniel Baptiste earlier. Did we not?
Did he posted again?
I swear we did.
When it comes to shills, they all look the same.
Yeah, I guess so. Daniel Baptiste movie podcast, Spider-Man movie we've all been waiting for. Daniel Baptiste delivers a Spidey-focused story that swings the franchise in a fresh, mature, new direction. Again, mature. Yeah.
Yeah, they all say this mature thing. That's another thing that they like to talk about.
It's a superhero film of this generation. And Tom Holland's best outing yet. Eric Voss, my reaction to Brand New Day, no spoilers, an emotionally meaty dwelling on loneliness and suppressing what we truly are with incredible stunts, visual effects, and coloring. Why do people keep mentioning the coloring? The best looking Spider-Man film since the Raimi era. The webbing has never been stickier.
That's what it says?
Yes. Yes. The webbing has never been stickier.
All right.
The Hulk sequence was my favorite Marvel action scene in years. Sadie Sink is devastating in her role, and I can't wait to see more of her in the MCU. Overall, the film reflects some of my favorite Spider-Man stories in the way that Peter's world is so crowded with familiar faces and insanity, and how his hero's journey can be such an inspiration to others. It takes maybe a few minutes too long to get into everything, but it's a sweet tale that will mean a lot to a lot of people. The biggest impact of the film requires plot reveals to even describe, so nothing further from me now. Okay. Man, a lot of shills here. Eric Davis.
I feel like it's the usual suspect. Some of these, I've seen these names before.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Injects a ferocious energy into Spidey's latest adventure, delivering all the thrills you'd expect from a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, while feeling deeper, more thoughtful, and more mature than the previous trilogy.
They really want you to know that it's more mature.
They want you to know that it's more mature.
Another thing that I'll say to you is that they love doing all this kind of mental health thing. Oh, it's his mental health. It's mature. I don't know. It's like this generation, this, and this, that. I mean, I understand that they like to... I'm starting to get tired of this theme. I want more like hero and less I'm depressed and lonely. I'm not saying that can't be a part of it, but I feel like this movie is going to focus too much on how much he misses Zendaya and Ned and feels lonely while she's like gallivanting with another dude or something. I could be wrong, but really it's not what I needed from this movie. I think that this was such a great position to start something fresh, and I also don't feel like they needed this movie to start piggybacking with whatever Sadie Sink is supposed to be, which I think people have been whispering this for a while now, and I think we understand theoretically what she's supposed to be. Maybe she'll be something else,
Yeah.
but in
Uh,
any case, I don't need this as a launch pad for Sadie Sink. And just so you know, as far as young actresses go, I think Sadie Sink is fine. I don't dislike her,
yeah.
but it's just like I don't need this here. I don't need any of this. Just do a regular movie. Remove Zendaya. Remove Ned. Remove Sadie Sink. Do like just focus on Spider-Man, and I don't feel like this movie, based on the description, is doing that. Now, maybe it'll still be phenomenal. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll say, you know what? It did all this stuff. It tried to juggle everything, but it really delivered. But my instinct tells me that this is going to be lessons not learned from Spider-Man 3, maybe in a different way. But do you get what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And even in 3, at least you had Toby as Spider-Man. Here, you're not gonna have Toby as Spider-Man, and they're gonna do the thing where they shove a million things into one movie. Uh, yeah, but let's go on.
Yep. So Hollow Files says Brand New Day is a mixed bag. It evokes the very best and the very worst of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. So there you go.
Right.
Kind of following up what you were saying about, having some stuff in it, the lessons that they did not learn from Spider-Man 3 and shoving too many characters in and having it be all emo and stuff.
Neo the 197 wants to know if we ever stop complaining. No, not really.
Not often. It evokes the very best. The first 20 minutes are quintessential comic book Spidey and do for Spider-Man what the first 20 minutes of Matt Reeves' The Batman did for the Batman. Be boring and terrible.
Isifobo says mixed bag is code for shite.
Could be. The film explores loneliness among young adults with delicacy and emotion, and Tom Holland delivers yet another amazing performance as Peter Parker. Unfortunately, the film mirrors Spider-Man 3 in being overstuffed with too many elements and having start-stop pacing. The humor doesn't land, in part to how disproportionately relegated to the background Ned is. So Ned's not there, so the movie's not funny? I think Ned not being there is a bonus as far as I'm
Right. That
concerned.
actually sounds like a positive development. RJ Godzilla says, Price of Reason, Gary Nerdrotic confirmed who Sink is playing in the movie. It's been whispered for a long time, and also online I saw like today a lot of people, unfortunately, already kind of blabbing about it. It's not really a shocker because, like I said, the rumors have been there for a long time.
It's the rumor that everyone has been talking about. It's the thing that a lot of people have said. There were some things last week that said, no, that's not who it is. That's not who it is. That's not who Sadie's playing. She's playing someone else. But no, it is exactly who it was rumored to be. Yeah. She's playing exactly who
you call everything Shill. Well, we are looking at a industry trade article which is spotlighting Shills. So it's not we call everything Shill, but I mean this is an article from the Hollywood Reporter showing those kind of Shill reviews. This is exactly what it is. There's no other way to describe what we're looking at than it's a group of Shills that we're familiar with, who are well-known Shills. Like even if you ask them and they're honest, they'll tell you that they're Shills.
You'll often hear people say access media. But all that means is that they're people who get to go see movies early and get a lot of special privileges and interviews and all sorts of stuff with the actors. And the only way they get to keep that privilege is by being Shills.
Neo the 197 says, we know it's going to make $1 billion and you're going to watch it. And I never said it wouldn't make $1 billion. I actually think that
I've said it might even make $2 billion. It might even hit the $2 billion mark like the last one did. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people might like this. I'm just we're just looking at the reviews, talking about it, talking about all of the the stuff that that they're saying. There is a lot of stuff in here that seems very Shillish. It all sounds the same. It sounds like it was coached, like they were given notes that they're supposed to read from. Like,
You know what they probably get? This is
yeah,
my theory, and it's more than a theory because in the past I've told you this before, even in some of my stories. I work with some PR companies, with some of even, the well-known ones in Hollywood, and I've worked with publicists that are considered, the real deal and things like that. So I've been involved in situations where there's like a press release. Now the press release is they send it to, let's say, all these people that they're reviewers or whatever it is, along with their invite or whatever it is. But let's say they get this press release, and in the press release, they'll just write some things about it. You know what I'm saying? They'll write a paragraph like building up why it's a good movie, but within that paragraph, there's a good chance that they'll drop those buzzwords like mature and all that other stuff, and those reviewers will later know that they need to, if they're good shills, they'll know that they'll need to plug those things in there. That's what press
that's
releases
yeah,
are for, and I
exactly,
suspect that
yeah,
some of these people are getting them. They're in the loop, they know exactly what it is, and they understand exactly what they should be saying. It's probably like an unwritten thing. I don't think that the publicist has to call them and say, "You gotta write mature." I think that the second they see the release or the material that they get, some kind of material that is sent to them, they're like, "Okay, we get it. We get it's mature." They already know what they need to say, if that makes sense. Or in some cases, maybe they arrive on the red carpet and they're greeted by a few of those people that, if some of them, a lot of these people are in the mix in these kind of circles, maybe the publicist grabs them and they're like, I know it's so mature, right? Do you get what I mean? So
sure, yeah,
there's a lot of options of how this can play out. A lot of the time it's like that. It's very orchestrated. Sometime maybe it could be a situation that they just are all conformist and dumb, and maybe, like, they listen to each other and somebody learned a word like, oh, it's a mature one, and then they, oh, yes, yes, it's mature. That's possible, I guess, as well. Yeah, you have a few different options of how this can play out, but I would never underestimate the work of PR and publicists and press releases and marketing material and whatever it is to try to influence people to say whatever they want here.
sure. Yeah, this one does continue on X. It's with some interesting points here. So we mentioned about how he said the humor doesn't land because Ned isn't in it, which is a little lame. But it also says despite a strong turn from Sadie Sink, the third act is hijacked by her character and culminates in a painfully flat climax. Destin Daniel Cretton makes easily the most visually appealing MCU Spidey movie to date and brings incredible style and intimacy to the filmmaking. There's a lot to love and a lot to be frustrated by with Brand New Day. So, a little more balanced review that time around, which is
That
nice.
guy is probably gonna lose his place in the
Yeah,
circle of trust soon,
he's
yeah.
not gonna get his
Right.
early
Not
access
gonna get
passes
that
next
then.
time around.
Exactly, not gonna get a gift bag or whatever it is that they give.
Yep. Oh, another one saying best Spider-Man movie made. Uh, feels less like IP as broad as the action is, and more like a movie. Okay, weird.
Listen, I do believe, and technology is better today, or whatever you want to call it. I believe that in the hands of a guy who could do some decent scenes, even Shang-Chi, which is a movie that I didn't prefer, I thought that he had an eye, because it's the same director. He had an eye to at least direct some of those action scenes. They weren't terrible. So I'm not saying that he couldn't have done something decent visually, and maybe that'll be a highlight of the movie, but I feel like we all know what's happening here. It's gonna be a movie, you're gonna watch it, and suddenly, like, the last, big portion of the movie suddenly shifts to Sadie Sink. It becomes the Sadie Sink movie, and it's like, this guy said it, she hijacked it. I didn't even see his review, and I told you that there's a feeling of a bait and switch.
Yeah,
And what were we complaining about Disney, that all the time they're like introducing another thing so they can introduce another thing so they can introduce another thing, and we really didn't need that. I think that this didn't need any of that. This just needed to be a good Spider-Man movie. Between Zendaya and Ned and the Sadie hijacking, I wonder how it's all going to turn out. And I'm not saying it as somebody that doesn't wanna like it. I really, really wanna like it. I want to enjoy this Spider-Man movie. I hope that I'm mistaken. I hope that I go in and I tell you, "You know what, Professor? I was wrong about this. It's a great movie." I really hope that that's the case, and if it is, I'll tell you the truth. I won't just, as a matter of principle, say I don't like it if it really is good.
Yeah. I'm gonna give my genuine opinion on the film when I see it, and I actually do want this to be good. I have enjoyed the MCU Spider-Man movies for the most part. There's obviously some issues here and there, but for the most part, I've enjoyed them. Uh, Recently, I have not enjoyed much of anything in the MCU. What was there to enjoy, right? I mean, what Thunderbolts? Good lord.
Thunderbolts was
And
one of
even that, I gave some props to the stuff that they did well, right?
I
But yeah,
Thunderbolts was one of their more watchable
it
ones in the
was.
past 5 years. Again, it didn't get, like, a flying colors review from me, but I said at least it was watchable. Like, I didn't sit there hating every minute of it, and it's not one that I wanted to revisit or I got up and said, "This is the best thing I've ever seen," but I was able to watch it. I got through it. It wasn't like a complete me suffering at the theater, which some of those other MCU movies were. It wasn't like Eternals or one of those kind of Marvels or yeah, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad, but, it also wasn't peak MCU.
Yep, it wasn't, not at all. It was. I mean, it was serviceable. If you want to go
Just
see,
serviceable enough,
if you
yes.
want to go see a a superhero movie about dealing with your trauma, but then again, I think that's what all these movies are about now. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some of that in this one. So,
Yeah,
I guess
'cause
we'll
what they're
see.
saying is, "Look at this generation that went through the couve. They're all like, there's so much trauma,
They're
and
so
we have to help them,"
lonely.
or whatever it is. Uh, you know how you help them? Maybe you have a dude show up that's actually heroic and doesn't get cucked every second and everybody taking a dump on him. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen here. Maybe this is gonna be good, but you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe then they'll feel better about themselves and they won't have as much trauma, but and if they do have trauma, this movie ain't gonna do shit for them, Professor. Sorry, Sean. They're gonna watch
S
Zendaya steal the
Yeah,
show and then
oh,
feel
no,
better about themselves?
Zendaya. She's gonna tell us all about it. Uh, let's see. We got a few more here. Thrilling action sequences that are well shot, thankfully. Some solid emotional moments. Uh, John Dotson might be the best live action film since Spider-Man 2. Um, Best live action film. Again, people need to learn to write. I don't think this is the best live action film since Spider-Man 2 came out. I'm guessing he means best Spider-Man movie. But anyway, a patient, character-driven blockbuster that humanizes Holland's Peter more than ever. Okay, lots of emotion, all sorts of feels in this one. Let's see, Andrew J. Salazar, an improvement from the last two. Very, very messy, but still very funny. Kind of disappointing that the Spidey villains are more like afterthoughts here. Okay.
Generally speaking, I it's definitely an improvement from the last 2 because I thought that the first 2 maybe weren't that good. The 3rd one was at least decent. Very, very messy, but still very fun. Kinda disappointing that the Spidey villains are more like afterthoughts here. Generally speaking, I don't know if this guy is telling the truth or not, or if he's right or not. Andrew J. Salazar is a guy that I don't rate at all. He is, if I'm not mistaken, maybe one of the founders of discussing commies,
He's the managing editor and
managing
co-owner
editor
of discussing.
disgusting commies,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Of course, we're just kidding, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they're disgusting commies. I just said it as a joke. I don't know if he's a
Just a
commie or not.
joke. Just a
Just a
joke.
joke.
Yeah. An emotional triumph, a juggernaut of a film. Wow, I want to see the review that Pamela Gores wrote for the Odyssey. I think there were probably so many adjectives in there it broke her brain. An emotional triumph, a juggernaut of a film that truly feels like a comic book come to life. At the top of his game, John Bernthal's Punisher shines on the big screen. No need to stress about too many villains. What?
That's a
Man,
strange thing. That almost makes it seem like people are stressed that there's too many villains,
mm,
and with her review, she's trying to counter that opinion.
yeah, here's the one that ruins it for me. Man, it's good to see Mark Ruffalo hulking out again. Yeah, opinion disregarded.
Yeah, that already sucks.
Peter Howell. Marvel dials back the multiverse tedium for a grounded Spider-Man tale. That's good. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Back to the grungy city roots of the comic book hero we know and love. Tom Holland finally nails the sarcasm hanks and the love hassles of Spidey slash Peter Parker.
I just want to
Yeah,
address this because I see there's somebody in the chat that's really excited here. Woke in
yes,
movies
yes.
isn't a bad thing, though. I mean, the thing is this: in general, the word woke initially was invented because there were people that were feeling that that they're not being treated fairly and things like that. And the meaning of the word initially, in whatever original context it has, it was to highlight some kind of injustice like that. And technically speaking, highlighting injustice, if there really is injustice in a situation that there is injustice, and highlighting it and using that word back in the day to highlight it is not necessarily a bad thing. The problem is that the word has already become something else. I think that in today, and it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum, or even if you're not very political, I think that everybody understands what woke in entertainment means. It means that certain ideas and thoughts and situations are subverted, especially if they involve male. Sometimes it could be a lot of times if it's let's say a straight white male, but it's not limited to. It actually, even if you're straight and diverse, that could happen to you as well. It's just this kind of idea that there's always these female characters around and barking at, and then the man isn't so heroic, just always being taken down a notch. And I personally don't like that because I think that it's being done by design, and it's not a lot of times it's not true to the story that it's telling. It's not true to the IP that it's supposed to be representing. It's not true to to the franchise, and not fair to the fans or the viewers. So calling it out and highlighting it, especially after so many years of the industry taking for granted our money and us supporting these franchises, I think it's fair enough. And
Yeah,
it really
and
is. Sorry, can you go on?
no, no, no. I'm just saying, yeah, like it's these films that they're promoting ideology over telling a story. They're promoting specifically ideologies that have to do with the Marxism, postmodern, critical theory type stuff. They're promoting ideas of things like diversity, equity, and inclusion over merit based types of stuff. So it's yeah, I mean it's all of these ideas just slapped together. And when we're talking about this, you have to understand that when you have those ideologies in place, they don't take a back seat. They're always at the front being pushed by activists. So and those activists who are there shoving all of this stuff into the film, or do so at the cost of telling a good story. Show me one story, one really good story that includes all of this idiocy, and you're gonna have a real hard time trying to find that. Okay. And no, the Odyssey is not a good example of that, right? Not even close. So yeah. If Neo wants to be here and argue with people, whatever. You're not going to change anybody's
No,
mind.
I mean, first of all, Neo has a right to his own opinion,
Exactly.
but he's sort of we're kind of all very, most of the people either hear you and I talking, or even a lot of people here in the chat that we've known for a long time. This isn't our first rodeo. Most of the people hanging out right here at this hour, watching this stream and in the chat and everything, we've been around for a very long time. We've seen this process in Hollywood for many years. I think that at this point, to pop up and say, "Oh, like woke is good," there's woke. What do you mean woke? It's just kind of I don't think even the people, whether they love woke or don't love woke, I think everybody understands what it is, and what is the context of it when we talk about it in entertainment. Some people may like those ideologies or like that kind of propaganda. Some people don't, and maybe some people don't mind. But I don't think we're at a point where we can just pretend that it doesn't exist. So I respect people's comments, even if I don't agree with them, which is why I addressed it. But at the end of the day, I disagree. But go on. What's this? What does this
Yeah.
guy have to say, Professor?
Yeah, and as Putin says, the word woke is overused, and I actually do agree with that. I think there's far too many people that just shout woke at stuff rather than actually examining what it is about that particular story or property or whatever it is that what are the actual things behind it that are corrosive to more traditional values and stuff. And yeah, it needs to be, a lot of stuff needs to be examined more rather than just dismissed as, oh, it's woke, and then walking away, which is, and there's a lot of stuff that people have freaked out and called woke that I don't know that really necessarily fits that all that well. But anyway, let's move on. Let's get on to other stuff. Let's see.
Another review. Peter Howell. What does he say?
Yeah.
You want me to read?
Let's see. We got Peter Howell. I think we already did that.
Oh, we already got him.
Let's see. We can.
They're all so similar. I can't even tell the difference.
Yeah. Here you go. You can go.
Spider-Man Brand New Day simply feels like Spider-Man stories should. Grounded, earnest, and fun, with a strong moral core. Tom Hyland reminds audiences why his Peter Parker is so beloved, and John Bernthal is a huge standout. Letting the Punisher be funny was a fantastic choice. I guess. I mean, the thing is that, what'd you say?
It's just interesting, letting the Punisher be funny. Okay.
Right. I mean, I could see where something would be funny if he's just acting like himself and the situation is funny, but I hope they didn't make him like too many jokes and stuff, because that really wouldn't be great for me. But what was I going to say? That is, his Peter Parker is so beloved. Let me remind you something about Tom Holland and Peter Parker. He basically has not stood on his own 2 feet as Spider-Man, maybe ever. He was introduced in Civil War with Tony as was like the most popular character at the time as his mentor. Then the first movie is basically Tony as his mentor, and he has to do right by Tony or whatever it is. Then the second movie, Tony is gone, and now he's sad about Tony, so he has to meet up with Nick Fury and with Happy. And there's this whole situation where Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio, whatever it was in that movie, or the fake. I remind me, what does Jake Gyllenhaal do in that movie? Is that
he was Mysterio?
That's what I thought, but he
Yeah,
wasn't the
yeah.
real. Was he like a phony or something? I don't remember.
No. I mean, he was the character of Mysterio, but yeah, he basically in that film he pretends to be a good guy.
Okay.
But he's actually a bad guy who's out to steal Tony Stark's tech.
So
Yeah.
Aftermath of Avengers Endgame, Tony mourning, you have villains that want to get even with like Tony. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, all in the mix there. Again, not really letting him stand on his own 2 feet. Then the third movie, which was No Way Home, he's definitely not standing on his own 2 feet. That movie is only good, really, because of all the other people coming to help him stand on his own 2 feet there, including Toby and Andrew and all the villains and all that other stuff. So that certainly, is not him really proving himself. And I would argue even in this movie, he doesn't seem to be the guy that's going to be holding it together. Because you added the Punisher, which is fine, but you had to add another person. In addition to that, you also have this Sadie Sink thing that's going to take up a big portion of the movie. So I feel like here it's another situation where they didn't trust him to carry the movie, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep, agreed. It feels like they just tried to squeeze a whole lot of stuff into this film, which was again, I've mentioned this, I've said this for a while. It's one of my biggest concerns with this movie is that perhaps they were doing Spider-Man 3. They were throwing way too much stuff into this movie, and that was going to cause problems with it being a real success, right? Because they're not they're not focused.
Uh, Putin 3 says, as I said, his movies are not as good as his appearance in Civil War and Infinity War. I agree with you. I
Okay.
actually liked him probably best in those movies.
Yeah.
But there was something else I wanted to tell you, which I also think that has something to do with it. Don't forget that Kevin Feige knows he's had a string of stinkers on his hand, and probably maybe this thing with Sadie Sink is trying to bridge us into what ends up being Doomsday. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't even know. But all I know is that I feel like Kevin Feige is desperate to use anything that he can get butts in seats to build something that people will still be interested in. And that's why I think that there's such a hijacking here with Sadie Sink. Which surprises me is that Sony went along with it. That they didn't tell him, listen, that's not our character. We're not going to let you hijack this movie now. You better focus on Spider-Man. And I think they do have the power to do that, because if they don't like what he does, they could decide to not renew a contract with him or whatever it is. I mean, I assume they have some contract in place for a number of movies, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They could have pushed back on this because they're not making any money or benefiting from Sadie Sink being introduced and trying to convert that into his MCU. I don't see where the benefit for them is, really.
Yeah. It's I don't understand why they had to feel like they had to squeeze Sadie Sink's character into this movie. We will
Uh,
we'll see.
Emperor Goodwin says Feige knows they've been cranking out flops, but he has no idea how to fix it.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
they just know one thing. This movie is going to sell tickets. This is probably what happened in the meeting. He said, "Listen, even whether it's good or bad, whatever it is, this movie is going to sell. People are going to go see it, and we got one opportunity to show that we're sort of relaunching. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to spoil for the two people that haven't heard. But considering the things that he's trying to cook up and relaunch here, that even has to do, I think, with Doomsday." I think that this is going to be something that's important to him, which is why he probably insisted on shoving this in here and doing a whole hour or whatever it is, or a whole third act of the movie that feels like it's from another movie. It feels like that meme that just to get excited for next product. This feels very much like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
shows that he hasn't really learned his lesson. That's the
Yeah.
word. The reshoots were to add jokes and Sadie,
Mm-hmm.
so they might feel tacked on.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Uh was
It's true. Maybe they just filmed a movie and then they just
yeah.
Kevin Feige strolled in there and he's like, "Nope, we gotta have another act. We gotta have another act. I have to use this." It's like a captive audience.
Yep.
If you did the Spider-Man movie and it ended and that was it, you didn't manage to cash in on what you did here. The only way you can cash in if you've inserted something that maybe you could make money on later. And trust me, Kevin Feige knows very well that Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, the only reason it did so much money it was because you saw Doctor Strange in No Way Home, and that movie was very well received by fans. So when they immediately said, "Okay, well now it's Doctor Strange 2," you're thinking, "Oh, this is the continuation to that movie." And that little psychological thought that you're watching the next step after what you just saw was interesting to enough people that they went to watch it. Then they saw it and it was shitty, but that Spider-Man No Way Home movie got people so excited that they even went to see that shitty movie. And maybe that's what Kevin Feige is trying to pull off here. Anyhow, was there more? Was Scott Menzel? Did we read this guy? The professor's gone away. It's either me gone away or the professor. Uh, Ian David Diaz's birthday happened yesterday our time. Wish Ian a happy belated birthday. He pops in here early morning in UK time. He may show up. Mega Geek. Ian the Mega Geek is a great guy. And we're always happy when he joins us at a late hour for us and early for him. Maybe he'll be around. So yeah, happy birthday, man. I don't know. It's the professor that's gone. Okay, well, the I guess let the games begin. I'm just kidding. I hope that he returns any second. I don't even know where to find that article. But I will say this is that all those shills sound very similar to each other. There's a few that went off script and said that the movie is kind of a mess, and I think that that is my takeaway here. I do want to check to see what Rotten Tomatoes says about this movie if it already has a thing. So I'm going to share this now. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says. Rotten Tomatoes has given this thing a 90 from 142 reviews. So it's the best thing that ever happened. I wish I could trust these people. I just don't. I mean, maybe it is a good movie, but I there's just no way for me to know. I also like it how they give like the fresh ones and they make it seem like it'll be like a 5 out of 5, but it's really a lady saying the story is at its best when it leans into the darker emotional and psychological dimensions of its premise, but it can never quite reach its full potential because it's ultimately beholden to the larger franchise machine. And this person gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which isn't necessarily a 5, but they make it seem like it's a great review. So that's kind of the system here. Bill Waters, a fun, if unremarkable, installment of Tom Holland's incarnation of the friendly neighborhood web crawler. Again, it's a positive review. He's saying it's unremarkable, yet it's positive. So this is how they get to 90. It's like people are like kind of grumpy about it, but they seem to think it's great. Wonder what happened to the professor. Well, you'll have to stick. You'll have to stick around with me. So Connor Petrie, is that like a petri dish? I don't know. I probably didn't read. Forget what I said. Spider-Man, Brand New Day is yet another grand Spider-Man adventure, a rare title in the MCU that doesn't assign homework to enjoy some good old-fashioned crime fighting thoroughly. Well, that sounds okay. This is an emotional this is an emotionally satisfying action story that introduces a new father figure for the lonely Peter Parker and shows the emotional toll of being a loner has on Parker and his spider DNA. I don't know how much I like that. I understand that he's lonely and stuff. I hope they're not leaning into him being some miserable idiot the whole time. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, you know? It's not that I don't want it to be good. I keep saying it. I want this to be really, really good, but I just don't know. I they haven't earned that credit and goodwill for me at this point. At this point, I'm going in wanting to like it, and if it's good, awesome. But if it's mediocre or shitty, I'm just going to say the truth. This is let's see, David Poland. I think the movie is one of those that is going to grow on a lot of people, but four fully formed threads and a big flip in the third act is a lot. Worked for me. Ugh, okay. It's like this guy wanted to say something almost negative, but then thought that perhaps the person that actually accidentally invited him to the screening may not invite him again. So he added like, "Worked for me." It's kind of an issue, and it doesn't, but it's awesome. Substack. What the fuck is hot button Substack? Let me see where the full review is. David Poland, he has a Substack. It's like, with all due respect, how many people actually read this guy's Substack? I mean, is there a way for me to know? Who is this guy? They always seem to select these kind of shills. Oh, sorry, it didn't show you his thing. They always seem to select like these kind of sure bet shills that'll just say whatever they want to say. And I don't know, never heard of this guy. He has a Substack. I can start a Substack in 2 seconds. Who gives a shit? Make some videos. If you want to impress me, go do some video reviews, David. Sorry, I'm not bitter at all. Okay. Now this sounds more like this may over go over normie heads, but I'm a smart boy. Maybe, I don't know. In any case, let's see. Lyra Hale. Brand New Day brings Peter Parker home in a way that the Tom Holland movies have never done before, while also not shying away from the real strength it takes to be this hero. I don't know. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, isn't that elixir to magically pull superhero films out of the convoluted rut that they've been stuck in, but it is a decent step in the right direction. The MCU finally gets its groove back. No Way Home celebrated Spider Man's past, but Brand New Day invests completely in the emotional complexity of the future, and by doing so, it manages to become the most satisfying live action Spider Man film to date. Scott Menzel. I don't trust this guy. Avi Offer. A character driven and surprisingly poignant superhero movie that's like a breath of fresh air. Tom Holland gives one of the best performances of his career, even better than his performance in The Odyssey. It's funny. It's too bad the professor isn't here because the professor. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I had network issues, so yeah,
Oh, it's okay.
I had to go
this,
and it was things were acting weird. It was doing some weird stuff, and then it just dropped out. So I had to go just reset everything.
So basically, there's something here that says this guy said that the performance that Tom Holland gives here is even better than the one he gave in the Odyssey.
Oh well, it could hardly be worse, could it?
Exactly. Let me see for a second. I hope I'm not sharing this because Ista told me to look in my DMs. Let me see for a second.
No, you're good. You're still showing the Rotten
Sent
Tomatoes.
a photo. Let's see. Ah, they have. I see what you mean. Let me see for a second if I can share this. Okay, I'm going to share this now. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So Ista sent me this, and he says that average of rated reviews is 7.7 out of 10. See, it's strange because they have like fresh versus rotten, and then they tell you it's like 90% fresh, but I think that they don't take into consideration what the real scores are. And I guess what Ista sent me here, I don't know if this is a feature that you could actually see on their site, and maybe it's just not easy to find it, or you have to click on something. But if the average is 7.7 out of 10, that's really not a 90 out of 10. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's maybe one of the problems that I have with this site to begin with. But okay, Courtney Howard gave it a negative review. And now I'm curious. While the part buddy comedy, part mystery thriller, part relationship drama is neither well paced nor well constructed and is often taxed by its overstuffed narrative, when the thematic resonance hits, it hits hard. It's a strange way of desperately trying to give some kind of compliment after taking a dump on it, but yeah. And obviously it's not even a fresh, it's one of the rare not fresh ones. Josh Wilding, Spider-Man Brand New Day is everything fans could want. Emotional. They keep saying emotional and mature and whatever it is. Hilarious and heartfelt. It's an action-packed love letter to the comics and one of Spidey's best big screen adventures. Spider-Man has never been more amazing. Ugh, that's so cringe. And this is from a place called Comic Book Movie. Like I never like it when they do this kind of like Superman soars. Spider-Man is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, try to think
Yes,
of
I know.
something
I
else.
know.
It's so, like, on the nose. Mark Mizruzruz, a perfectly paced Spider-Man adventure.
That's funny because that's one of the repeated criticisms that I've heard is that the pacing is not good in the film. In fact, so
I agree. Samuel Leggett Jr. A brand new day is easily one of the best comic to film translations that have ever come from Sony or Marvel. It is untamed in narrative, yet very grounded, brilliantly filmed and choreographed, and insanely entertaining. A must watch. Trust me. I wonder what does this guy write? Oh, it's a YouTube channel. Okay. Well, not familiar with it.
Team JVS.
I'm not familiar with this channel, and I also don't want problems because it's not my review. But this guy has posted a review, 16 hours ago. All right. Well,
Mm.
it's the best movie he's ever seen. Oh, sorry, it was here. Share this tab instead. It's this guy. It's the best movie he's ever seen. But let's go back to this other one. Stephanie Zacharek. Brand New Day, at the very least, shows some awareness that actors and not excessive soul killing special effects are what will keep drawing us to the movies. Sure, Spidey soars and stretches, but the biggest surprise to me was how grounded, that's another word, grounded, mature, and emotional. That's what you get. And the Tom Holland is the best thing that ever happened, and Zendaya is too. Those are like the main points that we keep seeing. Nothing can erase the enjoyment of witnessing Holland's performance, which remains winsome and wonderfully kinetic, even if you know that's got to be a computer generated Spidey a lot of the time. I mean, he's supposed to be athletic, so I'm hoping at least some of the time it is him, but what do I know?
Hmm.
Christian Toto usually, I mean, has some interesting takes. Odyssey alum shines, spars with Bernthal's Punisher, and proves his mettle. Well, that sounds positive. Isn't this Movie Bob? What does Movie Bob say?
Oh
Manages the
God.
trick of feeling grounded while delivering solid human drama, a compelling mystery story, and dropping a mythology bombshell for the Marvel faithful that doesn't overwhelm the rest of it. He gave it a 7 out of 10. It sounds like a
Oh,
10 out of 10.
movie Bob.
In any case, I'll just end with Mike Massey here. The time-worn notion of a hero getting tricked into helping the ruthless while thwarting the misunderstood is far too insincere and predictable. Interesting.
Fair
Jeremy
enough. Yeah.
John says it's a fun Spider-Man movie. Okay, well, I'll put it
Yeah,
this way.
he had nice things to say about it. He had some mixed feelings about it. So yeah, I don't know.
I want to look if you saw there was a brief thing that Chris Gore and Alan went to the movie.
Sure, yeah.
Hopefully they won't mind if I oh wait, we have some super chats, so I want to do that first.
Oh, do we? Yeah.
So let me try to share the super chats first. I'll just do a share. Let's see for a second where we are. The Dead Man 79 with a 199 super chat. Price, did you see the Star Wars Theory Vader 2? I haven't watched it.
Nope.
I do remember his original movie from years ago. He's been working on this second chapter for a very long time. I thought that he did a pretty good job with the first one. I was quite impressed with it back in the day. I haven't seen this new one, but definitely I will make an effort to watch it. Number the second super chat again for $2, $1.99. Beefaroni Fund. Well, beefaroni is something that we have to give Nick 32 flavors of Nick Weiser because he's a big fan of beefaroni. And then you have the Dead Man 79 Price Mandela Fund. I'm not sure I know what that means. What is the Price Mandela Fund?
Hmm.
I guess it's a Nelson Mandela thing, but did he have a fund? I don't know. Oh, I see. Okay. You're contributing by giving the super chat, so it's as if I had the Nelson Mandela Fund, but I'm the Price Mandela Fund. I guess. Could be wrong, but that's the way I understood it. And sure, yeah, I didn't even know Nelson Mandela had a fund. So I learn something new every day. Thank you so much, the Dead Man.
I'm
Thank
sure
you for
there's
your
a
support.
foundation with his name on it somewhere. Yeah.
The Dead Man also has his own channel where he makes videos, Star Trek, things like that. You should check it out. The Dead Man 79. Thank you so much for your support. We always appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
And
Yep.
so yeah, so basically, I think that this movie, I'm hoping it'll be at least watchable. Let me see if I can find this Chris Gore thing because I thought that they had some interesting things. Film threat. Okay, let me share it, and then we can say what we think about it.
Well, Alan, we just got out of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And let me start with that this has the best action ever I've seen on film for Spider-Man. Best action, feels ripped from the comics. Love the action aspect.
even some first-person perspective.
Yeah, like inspired by the video games. So the action, bar none, best we've ever seen in a Spider-Man movie. But there's major problems. For one, and there'll be no spoilers, it's like there's two movies. There's a movie that goes, that ends, and then there's more movie like a complete other movie, a different movie. And I just, after a while, I thought, can we just focus on Spider-Man? Way too many side characters that help Spider-Man, including like a cop that he talks to almost constantly that leads him along, almost like a ghost sidekick, and they talk on the phone a lot. That got kind of boring quick for me. So while it's got great action, major story problems that turn me off, and a weird second half of a film. Alan, what do you think?
Well, I kind of liked it, but I feel like I need to see it a second time in order to get my thoughts together. I'll say this. It's true. There are two movies here. And I think for the most part, I enjoyed the movie. I had fun. But there's a part where that something happens, something is revealed, and that's where the second movie comes in. And it literally slows the entire movie down. It's like you've got this momentum going, and something happens where you feel like, okay, maybe it's coming to a conclusion, and then it goes on and on. And I think in my mind I had to say, I really like this movie, but when it slows down and when it goes, I have to basically say, I can forgive it and then continue to like the movie. I think one thing people will point out is there's a lot of emotion in this movie. You see it in the trailer. This is about Spider-Man on his own, basically the hero with no friends, and that's a big major theme of the first movie. And I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the way it played out. I liked the way it resolved itself. But then again, it just kind of the momentum just slows at the second movie, and it kind of picks up at the end as a superhero movie should, but it never really captures that energy you got. So I'm going to say overall recommendation, but not a perfect movie, and there's a serious flaw in the middle of the movie.
Spider-Man and the too many side quests. That's what I would title it.
Think of it as achievement points, like achievement goals.
Like a video game. Anyways, there are other problems, but you'd be getting into spoilers, and we're not going to do that because we're getting kicked out of here. So, Alan, what do you got to say?
Let's get out of here.
Well, that seemed like a pretty fair review, and I think that based on everything I'm seeing, and I don't know, sometimes I hear a lot of things from people, and then I sit there and I enjoy it, and maybe I'll walk out and just tell you it's perfect.
Yep.
But I tend to think with all the information we know, and again, this is just a grain of salt. If the movie is good, the movie is good. I'm not gonna. I want to like it, and I'm going in there wanting to like it, but I feel like I trust some of these comments, especially I thought that what Chris and Alan explained now seems to make sense to me. But
Yes.
Again, I'll have to watch it for myself and see.
And I have heard several people talk about, there's this police officer, detective, whatever, who is in the film, and that Spider-Man is talking to them a lot. No cheating here. I want you to just guess. What identity do you think this police person that Spider-Man's taking all this advice from? What identity would you guess this character?
I'm just gonna gamble here. If we're in the roulette, a black woman.
Ding 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 ding. Black woman. Yes, of course. Yeah. Detective Jean DeWolf, played by Lisa Colonzayas. So yeah,
Again, it's another one of those situations. It sounds like they just tagged on some lady to tell them what to do. Like, you can't do it.
I believe Black Latina, but yeah,
I see. Well,
yeah.
it's fine. I mean, again, I always clarify
But
here.
the white man must always learn from the diverse woman. They can't learn from another man.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to point this out, and it's obvious to me, but I don't have an issue with people of all backgrounds or whatever in a movie. It's just this idea that like Spider-Man can't do it alone, especially that he's like supposed to be a straight white dude here, and you need like immediately this like diverse woman that explains to him what he needs to do. It's very typical for what the MCU has been. Disney have been peddling around for years. That's why we're kind of eye rolling here. I never had an issue with more diverse people getting roles or something like that. I think that in many years in Hollywood, the people that were there, the gatekeepers, they didn't do a lot of diversity, or in some cases, maybe they could have given different people different roles. Although they could have done it organically, and they could have just built good stories and featured them in a better way, which they didn't do. So, in that sense, it's not that I disagree with that. The part that annoys me about it is that one day Hollywood woke up, and after it did business a certain way and did these decisions for years and did whatever, it woke up one day and blamed me for what they think that they've been doing wrong for all these years, and made it seem like it was my fault. You know what I mean? It's not
Hmm.
my fault. Just make good stories and incorporate characters and write good characters, and just focus on the art and have some merit, not just that you, like some committee sat there and said, like he can't just walk around alone, we need like some lady to tell him what to do. I know how stupid this sounds, but you know that that meeting took place, Professor.
Absolutely. You know they did.
Some guy in a suit there, then, or actually there was probably a few ladies with like blue hair sitting in that room as well, or maybe they don't have blue hair, but spiritually they have blue hair, and they said, no, we can't, there's got to be a woman and telling him what to do.
Yep. If he's going to get any advice from anybody, it's going to have to be from a diverse woman. No one else could possibly help a superhero reach the pinnacle of his strength, especially a white male. He must be put in his place, and he must be taught exactly who and what he is supposed to be. And that can only happen if it's a diverse woman who is his mentor, his teacher. Yes.
Yep, exactly. But we'll see. Maybe it's not as bad as they describe.
Maybe it's not as bad. I don't know.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
you said Andre wrote a tweet. Do you happen to
Oh
have
no,
that
he
tweet
had
around?
he had a video on Midnight's Edge. Yeah.
Oh, he had a video or he had a
Yeah.
tweet?
Yeah. No, he had a video.
Was it like a lengthy one or just an out of the theater thing?
It's an out of the theater one. Yeah.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, if you just can, I don't know. You can decide if you want to play it or not. But did he
Oh,
actually
okay.
say something? What did he say?
He does have. I mean, he did. Oh, come on. There's no big spoilers. He does talk about who Sadie Sink's character is. Let's see if he posted a few hours ago. Out of theater reaction, 6 minutes.
Well, did he say? Did he tweet about anything or just?
I don't know that he tweeted about anything. I didn't see any.
What did he say? I mean, if you want to just tell me what he said.
I mean, he basically said that it was that he mostly enjoyed it. He also mentioned the stuff about it having been having sort of two films. Yeah, kind of like it's almost like it has one set of a story that it wants to tell, and then it picks up another one that it maybe doesn't quite finish telling. So it's kind of abbreviated, which is not a great way to try to to try to do your story, but that it was overall, it was enjoyable. It had some fun action scenes. that there wasn't much that ruined it. He did talk about that the who the character of Sadie Sink is. If we don't want to get into that, that's fine, because it is kind of a mild spoiler. But I mean, overall, I thought he was pretty positive on it. Not like Shill singing its praises, but overall, I think he had a good time with it. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's somewhat of a positive sign.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that we've been hearing some good things and bad things, even from shills and from non-shills. So I'm hoping that the good outweighs the bad, that there's still a feeling that you watched a cool movie, and that even if it's not perfect or it's flawed, that there's enough good things in it. I'm hoping that that'll be the experience I have. And like I said, I'm not going in there just wanting it to be bad. If I go in there and I genuinely have a good time, I'll tell you, like, listen, I had a good time watching it, but I also don't give movies a pass if they do stuff that's wrong. It's not that I'm going to just say sing its praises and not point out things that are an issue if there are issues, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's all we can do.
Yep. Some people mentioning, Fat Joe was mentioning having and some other people earlier were mentioning that where they're going to go next with the MCU movies, and it's going to be the X-Men. I got news for you. There will never be X-Men in the MCU.
They'll be
It will
mutants.
not happen. They will be referred to as mutants, or potentially Team X. They will not be referred to as the X-Men. It's not going to happen. That will be their first and fatal mistake when trying to adopt those characters into the MCU. They will refuse to call them the X-Men, and because of ideologies. And they will refuse. They'll decide it's Team X instead, or they'll just call them mutants, whatever it is. But yeah, there won't actually be X-Men.
Well, I agree with everything that you said. And
Jill wants to know, why did I change my robot? Oh, well, we talked about it, Jill. We talked about it. But basically, I didn't want anybody's streams getting shut down because I was using Disney IP as part of my avatar.
Well, it was kind of a spin on it. It was your own spin, but I understand.
Yeah, I know. It was my own spin on it, but
it was a satirical spin.
We're trying this out. For a while. Definitely have some more opportunity for something being expressive here than we had otherwise. Elizabeth Quince, thank you for $2.
$2 Rumble Rant. Thank you so much. Everyone, please get out to see Young Washington in theater. It is not a small screen movie. Loved it. Well, we recommended it here
Very cool.
A while back. And I thought that we're talking, and we said this about the Odyssey, that whether you like the Odyssey or not, there's one thing that kept on sitting there kind of in my mind while watching the movie. It cost $250 million to make, and that's a lot of money. And that's without the marketing, just the production budget. Now, you had this Young Washington movie, and they had, they're saying like less than 20 million to make that movie. And man, I think that they took their job a whole lot more seriously in some aspects than the Odyssey did, working with much less. It basically had less than a tenth of the budget of the Odyssey, but it still gave you a 2-hour movie that feels like a period piece. I'm not going to say that, it felt like a $250 million movie, the Young Washington one, but I will say that I still enjoyed it, and I thought that it was pretty well done, and I was impressed that they wanted to go ahead and do the movie even on a smaller budget. I think that I was talking to you about also this Spider-Man thing. I would prefer that you didn't have the most stunning visuals. I mean, I like stunning visuals, but I don't care if the visuals are just, very good instead of excellent, but remove all that weird stuff. Don't have the lady cop giving him guidance. Don't have I don't need Zendaya and Ned in the movie. I don't need Sadie Sink in the movie. You could keep the Punisher. And I would have, for good measure, if possible, thrown in Daredevil in some way, shape, or form. That would have been a lot cooler.
Especially given that we do know, and it's been talked about, that one of the villains that shows up in this movie is the Hand, which, like, you're doing the Hand, but you're not including Daredevil?
That is
Like
very weird.
that's
Yeah,
weird. Like Daredevil should be in this.
absolutely.
Especially if he's now like this whole movie is supposed to take place in New York and all of that, but no Daredevil? Really? That's odd. It's really strange. Like
Very, very strange for
maybe they
sure.
just couldn't get the rights to it, or now maybe it's a Daredevil is now only a he's only a TV character. He's not in the movies or something. Some stupid BS like that. I don't know, but that's silly. Yeah, if they're going to use the Hand as a villain, they really have to have Daredevil in this, but obviously they chose not to.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, what can we do? We'll see how it all plays
Coda
out.
Rob says he's in jail. I don't know. I didn't watch the last season of Daredevil because I watched one episode of it and decided no thanks.
Who's in jail? Daredevil?
He says he's in jail. I don't know if he's making a joke or if that's something that actually happened in the show. I don't know. Because like I said, I didn't watch the last season. I watched the first season of watched the first season of that new series on Disney Plus, and then after that, I watched like one episode of that second season or the second half of the first season, whatever. And I didn't care anymore. I didn't want to waste my time. It was so dumb. And now I hear they're going to be doing this whole thing where they turn the because you watched the first season of that, didn't you, Bryce? You didn't watch the most recent season, though.
Okay, so I watched the first season of Daredevil Born Again or whatever that was, and then what happened was is that the second season started and I started watching it. And I did intend to finish it. I watched several episodes of it, but when you just mentioned it now, I can't even remember if I made it to the end of the season. And if he ends up in jail, then I guess I didn't watch it to
I
the
don't
end
know. Yeah,
'cause I don't remember. Yeah.
yeah. I saw the first for maybe the second episode I watched, and I was just like, I can't be bothered to watch this anymore. Just can't be bothered to waste my time watching this. It was so boring. And
It was sad for
then
me too that they lost me because I really, really wanted to like it.
yeah.
I so wanted to like that Daredevil show. I put up with the first season because there were some moments that I liked in it, but a lot of issues with it at the same time. I had hoped that the second season hits the ground running, course corrects, and really wows me. And I think I watched a number of episodes, not even like one or two. I watched like more than that. And I don't know at what point in the season. The funny thing is, I didn't even make a conscious decision of like, I'm not going to watch this. I didn't find the time to watch it and then forgot about it. And considering how much I liked Daredevil initially when it was on Netflix, for me to forget to watch the rest of the season is very telling as to the level of what they did there. And it's such a shame because the casting of Charlie Cox as Daredevil, his performance, and Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, such great casting when it was done on the Netflix one that they basically, it's as if Disney had a tap in next to the basket that they just needed to tap the ball in, and they somehow managed to, throw it into the audience, the ball. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I don't even know how you missed that one.
Yeah. The other thing that I've heard is that they're going to do now. So remember, she had or he had the girlfriend, the psychiatrist, right, who got attacked, and that they're going to make her. She's going to go crazy and become Lady Muse, and become a killer. It's like, what? This is so dumb. Why would I even bother coming back for this? That's so stupid. So they're gonna turn her into a villain. It's like, no thanks. No, thank you.
Quick comment. If you're watching on Rumble, which is our headquarters for this show, and you haven't yet subscribed, you haven't signed up for Rumble, you could do that for free. They have a free tier and a premium. Both are great, but you could try it for free. And then you should follow us. If you're watching through the app, sign up, follow us, and then you'll know when we stream. In addition, if you're lurking and you're enjoying these streams, or maybe you often watch them and you lurk, any kind of support we can get in the live chat on Rumble would really help us when it comes to the algorithm and other things. So if you're a lurker and you haven't yet dropped a comment in the chat, uh, please do that now, as it would really be awesome. Hold on one second.
Hashtag 75 chatters.
Yeah, something like that. We need
Yes.
75. And the
Oh,
thing is, we're
yeah.
so close to it too.
So yeah, Tomby, Jill mentioned it in there. Tomby has an app. It's a plugin for Chrome that can let people know when you're live and that you need chatters, and it sends people your way.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Have to reach out to him and ask him how to do that.
Yeah, I think it's just in the. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we can talk about it later instead of talking about it on stream. But yeah, he's got an app out there that does a cool thing. It shows when you're live, and people who have the plugin, it lets them shows them that there's people that need chatters, and they can go and they can hop over to your stream just to pop in and say, hey, here's a chat to add to your account. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I know that over on B-roll stage, Adam and Babs have been using that to make sure they're getting people into their streams to get enough chatters so they're monetized. Oh, Jill dropped you a link there.
Oh, okay. She did?
Yep, over on Rumble.
Okay. Professor, you tell some jokes in this.
He's going to go and install it right now.
Right now. No, because I'm just missing a few. That's the whole thing is, like, I have almost all of them. Let's see for a second.
Right
so,
now.
Professor, you...
And Jill says it's Rumble approved, too. So, yeah. Yeah, it's great to see everyone out there in the chat tonight. I know we've been going back and forth. We've been talking about Spider-Man. I think we're going to talk a bit about old Mark Ruffalo here in just a little bit, and how he's been basically banned from all of their promotion for this film, which is kind of hilarious. And of course, yeah, maybe a little bit of Odyssey talk a little bit later on, but let's see. Akota Ross says, did Price or Professor like Spider Noir show? I watched all of it. I thought the black and white was poorly done, so I ended up switching back over to color pretty quickly. Was not impressed with the way that they used the black and white. If it was supposed to be a noir, they did not shoot it as a noir like they needed to. There were a few scenes here and there where they were really using light and shadow to actually take advantage of what you get, the expressiveness, the really interesting things you can do with light and shadow in black and white. But most of it, they did not use it well. And so I gave up on it and just watched the one in color. And the Spider Noir show itself, while I thought Nick Cage was having fun, he was too old for the role, frankly. It looked like he was having a good time, and I appreciate when I can tell an actor's having a good time doing their role, but I think he was just a little too old for it. And overall, I thought the story was really weak, and a lot of the the DEI, wokeness, whatever stuff that they did with it really took me out of it. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're talking about, 1920s, 1930s time period when this was supposed to take place. And he's got a smart ass, know-it-all, overweight Latino woman who's his secretary, who's smarter than him in every way. And he tells her all the time, oh, you should be the detective, not me, and whatever. And then you've got the torch singer in the show, who's sort of the center of a lot of the stuff that's going on, who is Asian, and a lot of this stuff. Then you've got a black man who's the reporter, and is getting in in the faces of white guys who are in charge of stuff and telling them what to do with themselves. When it's like, that's none of this fits reality. If this is supposed to be a period piece, it doesn't work. So and then the hero stuff just didn't work for me either. There were one or two scenes where I thought it played out well, and in general, no, I was not a fan. It was not a good noir. It was not a good detective story. It was not a good superhero story. And so in the end, it didn't work. It was not good at any of the things it was trying to do. So while there were a few bright spots and a few fun things to do, a few fun things to be had in that show, overall it was a waste of time. And yeah, oh well. Yeah, I really did want it to be good. I watched all the way through it. I watched every episode. I wanted it to be good. And man, there were some fun little scenes. And like I said, you could tell Nick Cage was having a good time on set. But yeah, it just didn't work as any of the things it was trying to do. And I felt like I was just taken out of it all the time. So yeah, yeah. Fat Joe, yeah, it's immersion breaking. Exactly. Yeah. You have to yeah, you have to really stick with it if you're going to do a period piece, if you're going to do a noir, or else it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. But you know what? Like I said, there were a few fun things to be enjoyed in it. If you want to take your time, this is not it's not nearly as terrible as, say, Rings of Power. I I would never tell anybody to waste their time with Rings of Power. But if you wanted to give Spider Noir a shot, like I said, there's some things here to enjoy. So if you wanted to give it a shot, but overall, it just it didn't work. It didn't work for me. Did you actually watch that, Price?
Which one?
Spider Noir.
Yes, I did watch Spider Noir, and I like Nicolas Cage, and I've said it. I think we've talked about it. I feel like it's a role that he needed to get 20 years earlier. He was fine, and I enjoyed seeing him, but I feel like a 20 years younger Nicolas Cage would have been perfect for it. And he seemed like he started to see his age a bit. It's not he. If there's anything that I liked about the show, it's probably him. But there was a lot of stuff that it was a mixed bag for me. There were moments in it that I kind of enjoyed it, but there were also things that I didn't quite like. And yes, they also did the thing where it's not really historically accurate, and all there a little bit of them, shoving in those little kind of agenda things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes, of course.
Some woman, goes from this guy to that guy, is an idiot at the end. Also the switches and all this other stuff. It's funny because I was at some kind of event recently, and the funny thing is that in my real life, I'm not Price of Reason. I'm just some like weirdo. So, which is also Price of Reason, but I don't know why somebody mentioned Spider Noir or something like that. And of course, I can't. I suddenly forgot I wasn't Price of Reason, so I said, "Yeah, I don't know how much I liked it. It wasn't, historically accurate." And I said something like, it didn't make sense that his secretary was a plump Latina woman in the Great Depression. And I think that at least one person that heard it kind of like, was surprised. He's like, listen, you think you're willing to get behind the fact that he's like swinging and he's Spider-Man and swinging around and fighting and all that stuff, but the plump Latina woman, that's your issue. And I said, it's not historically accurate. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like there's no reason to do that. Plus, also, if you wanted diversity in that era, singers at blues clubs were usually black women, like Billie Holiday or whatever it is. So instead of bringing an actress like a Halle Berry to play the femme fatale jazz singer, they bring an Asian woman. But an Asian woman during that time wouldn't have been singing at a jazz club. I know this sounds nitpicky, but it's the truth.
Yep.
I just
Yep.
it's so
And it
easy.
ruins the immersion, right? It ruins
Right.
the immersion of the show.
You could have kept it, still done something diverse that would have at least been organic to the time that it's happening, but instead it's kind of just strange, and it was hard. Here's the thing: sometimes you have one thing and you say, "Well, it's a one thing; it's kind of an anomaly." But once you have a bunch of different things, like you have the Asian woman, which didn't make sense, he's also cucked and stupid. And you had the black reporter that on one hand they wanted to show that people are discriminating against him because that's what happened during that time, and that is historically accurate. But then at the same time they wanted him to stroll into his office and start like dictating terms to his manager. And it's like, you can't have it both ways. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's either they discriminated against him, which makes more sense with that period of time, or
Mhm.
you don't care about that and you're making him like the best thing that ever happened because you don't care and you're just giving your own spin on it. But to try to accomplish both at the same time is just so odd to me.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Professor?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do. I was looking at some of the Kodo Rob was saying he thought Brendan Gleeson was good as the mob boss. Oh, Brendan Gleeson is good in everything. Brendan Gleeson never I don't think he has ever given a bad performance, but unfortunately it just those little bright spots don't fix a lot of the other issues that I had with it. There was a lot of stuff where it was they had to squeeze in a lot of these more diverse characters that simply don't fit into the story in an authentic way to the time the story they were trying to tell it. If they were going to put those characters in, that's it's fine. If that's who the story's about, is these people, black man, Latino woman, Asian woman, whatever, but they don't. If it doesn't fit, then it doesn't feel right for the time. Yeah. So, Dubro Set Fortress says, Prof looks so cheerful now. Well, I honestly, I considered different expressions for the face on here. Maybe I'll fiddle with them a bit. I thought about making me look much more dour in the being more serious and kind of. But I went with the more happy version, at least for the moment, anyway.
I see. Well, how many hour? Oh, we can maybe send some invites out.
If you like.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now because people have already grown accustomed to us inviting some guests here and there. So, Ista, I see you. I don't know if you're still awake, but I just sent you an invite, and then at the same time, I saw Jill here, who's probably going to sleep and preparing 7 streams and all that stuff, but I'll send her one anyways. Because why not?
Because why?
I'm so sorry, Bryce. I have to wake up tomorrow early.
You're an old man.
I have a stream that I'm doing about the Twilight Zone. And I'm entertaining people. I couldn't possibly join you at this hour. Let's see. Who else? We got probably I'm gonna send Emperor a good one. He's like, oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen Emperor Goodman in a little bit. I saw Mark D with a C out there. If
Mark D with a C, that's a good one. Even though Mega Geek is asleep, I'm just gonna send it to him because what do I care?
Maybe it wakes him up.
Yes.
And we can all sing him happy birthday.
So Mark D with a C, Emperor Goodwin, Ian the Mega Geek is to Phobos, Jill.
Jay went to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say he usually does.
Always when I invite him, he goes to bed. I don't know what that means.
It means he goes to bed before 2:30 in the morning.
I see.
Because he has a life.
No, he doesn't. No, don't even pretend. He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
People are saying night owls assemble. Yeah, that's what's going on here. This is the moment. And I sent Mark an invite. I don't know if he's still here or he fell asleep, but if you're around, Mark or Jill, when I send Jill, it's like she just disappears.
Well, she's been known to cast all through the night herself.
Yep.
We had like a 6-hour Back to the Future stream.
She said, "You still have the best impression of me. I don't even need to go on." No, don't say that.
Tetrarch of Apathy wants to know if I tried looking like the R2 inspired robot in Battle of the Planets iteration of Gotcha. No, I did not. I had a few different designs that I played with. One was more like a ball with arms and legs, but that one I decided I didn't like it very much. Maybe not. Okay, we'll try something else. So anyway,
you could
what?
I suggested you could do your R2, but put a Vex vajayjay logo over your face.
Sure, yeah, just
25% different. You know?
I get, you know what I should do? I should just do a roast beef sandwich and put the little sensors on the top of the bun, like you have for the R2. Yeah, it could just be that. Yeah.
Oh, that would be hilarious with the. I get it now, like in Arby's, but the dome top is like R2 with sesame seeds.
Arby's 2B2. Yeah, Arby's 2. Oh yeah.
Hey, listen, I just had to laugh. Robert De Niro got doxxed by the mayor that he voted for, and it was just too funny.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I saw all of their New York, recently talking about how they're going to be opening their own grocery stores, city-run grocery stores, selling things below cost, which that always works out well.
Yeah, and the pied-à-terre tax. You know what's funny? When they proposed it with Kathy Hochul, they said only about 30,000 households would be affected. Mm-hmm. This list published over 900,000 residences.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, let's see, 900,000. That's like 3 times. That's 30 times as much as he said when he suggested it.
Yep. Oh, hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
I almost fell asleep listening to the Biden tapes, but
those would put you to sleep.
Great to see everyone. And then too, right? Yep. You look like the speak and spell guy.
Yeah. I realized when I was putting together the little pixel face, I was like, oh no, it's kind of like speak and spell, but whatever.
Yeah, but that's not bad. That's not a bad thing.
It's kind of retro.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Well, didn't C-3PO get in trouble for his avatar years ago?
Drone 3PO? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's always good to be preemptive.
Yeah, so that was, you know what, I actually, had the time to kind of fiddle with it and thought, I've been playing around with it for a while, actually, trying a few different things, and ended up going with something a little more generic than
I kind of like it.
R2.
The only thing Mark has to worry about is Captain Jack Sparrow, and I have to worry about Snortopupus Cuber. Otherwise, I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, and going with a more humanoid shape means that I could eventually, I could potentially put it into, like one of those rigs, like the VTuber rigs or whatever, where the different parts can move independently and it's not just as static as.
You're going to start swinging parts around now?
It could be, yeah. Who knows what parts I might be swinging.
It sucks they shut down Face Rig because that was already pre-made and you could do your own, and it already had a wide variety of anthropomorphic animals and creatures.
Yeah, and most of the ones that now, like I said, like if you go look at them, like the more popular ones, they're like, oh look, we have things that you can start with. Every last one of them are anime characters.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm not going to be another VTuber with some anime character. Thank you. No, and I'm also not paying somebody on Fiverr.
No,
$400 to design a rig for me.
You'll be able to get AI to make your rig in 20 seconds in about 6 months. So
I'll be honest with you. When I designed this, I used AI and I asked it to specifically to help me design something that would work well in a rig and tell me how to what parts I needed and how to assign them to the rig and all sorts of stuff. So I did a bit of that. It's just a lot of work to kind of set it up in the software and decide what software to work with. But I had all the assets and I just kind of put those all together in a static version and then designed the little face lights myself. I did a lot of cleanup and stuff. So this isn't not 100% like straight out of AI software. I actually went in and spent a lot of time with image editing software, cleaning stuff up.
Yeah, I find the full-on VTuber a little distracting. Like, some of our friends have gone that direction, and I miss their old avatars where just their mouths moved.
Yeah.
It's a little too much motion. I don't know. Guess it just
You
depends
guys-
on your taste.
You remember the lawyer that was doing a court case with the judge, and he had the Zoom like avatar on, like a line or something, and he couldn't turn it off. It was a while ago, when COVID hit. So he's like, "I'm sorry, Your Honor." Right? He was like an older guy, like, "My daughter put this avatar on. I don't know how to turn the line face off or whatever."
That was
whatever it
yes.
was.
I do remember when that happened, and I also they did a great gag with that on. During the coup, if you remember all these different shows, all these different well, I guess it was mostly TV shows. They did like reunion episodes that they did all online. There was one that they did for Parks and Recreation where Jerry comes back on and he can't figure out his phone. So the whole time he has the stupid avatar thing on his face and looks like a dog and looks like a poop and all sorts of stuff. That was pretty funny.
It's pretty good just in Zoom, I have to say, though, too. Just like
it is, yeah. Yeah, and FaceTime, it's pretty fun. So we are joined by Annie Jill, but she doesn't have her camera on. Price, do you have an avatar you can throw up there for her in your?
Yeah, let me see if I can find one. No, that's Robot Head.
Robot Head.
Hey, Jill.
Another robot
head in his wetsuit.
Hey, Goodwin, Nick. Mr. Brown. Mega Geek.
Yeah, OBS asked me, "Do you want to do an upgrade before you like every time?"
No.
As you join, do you want to?
No. Upgrade. It's working.
At least Price won't have to worry about the 6 centimeter rule with Jill.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this now. Sorry. Tell some jokes.
Yeah.
I know some limericks. We could go with limericks.
Ooh.
I heard a joke. New York opened 5 government-run grocery stores that cut regular stores by 30%, undercut them, so they all went out of business. And then in the first week, when the government stores ran out of food, no one in New York City could buy any food. That's my joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I found out Anna Ventura's address.
Are really all those addresses online?
Yeah,
they're all public. I downloaded them.
Yeah. Anna Wintour, one of the women from Sex and the City. Like,
does it have their phone number or just their
full addresses and their names? I don't see phone numbers in mine, however.
And Robert De Niro isn't pissed because he loves this kind of stuff.
Woody Allen too got his address. So if you're looking for some sweet young thing, you can always go to his house. So.
The thing that I think is absurd with this whole thing that they've done with these pied-à-terre taxes is that there's not even there's literally no way that they can actually fight it. They have no recourse. There's no due process. It's just like, nope, we're just gonna slap you with a tax, and then and the only thing you can do is go to the tax commission and say, please don't tax me. What do you think they're gonna do?
They'll take they'll take your property and sell it out from under you at auction is what they'll do.
Yeah.
Can you say you were mugged multiple different times? Like I was mugged 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So this just proves that I'm living in the city because I've been mugged multiple times and hear the police reports. That might help.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that Supreme Court case where a couple who owned their house for like 2 generations, they were behind on their tax bill like $1,100? But the thing is, they even ruled that they didn't know that, and their property was seized and sold off at auction. It was worth about $350,000, sold at auction for $80,000, and the guy who bought it immediately flipped it for like $320,000. They took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the court ruled, nope, you get what they paid for it at auction, so you only get $80,000 for your $350,000 house.
Yeah, wasn't it like they didn't get the tax bill or something, or some
no
screw up or something, or
it was improper, and a lower court ruled that they didn't know the tax, but that didn't stop the property from being seized and auctioned.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why, because
cases,
Yeah, but because I guess the housing commission, whatever they have, is separate from the court that said they didn't know the taxes.
Well, it's like that case in Connecticut, the where they seized all the houses for eminent domain, and then
Yeah,
that was a horrific case, and then they never even built the development. So
that's happening in Georgia right now because they need to run a new super power line to power AI data centers. Yeah. And all of these multi-generational homes in middle Georgia are getting seized, eminent domained.
Yeah, it's just. So like you
up.
do need eminent domain for certain things. Like yes, railroads and like I-95. There are a lot of houses in our town that got moved. Actually, that we know some of the people, and back then there were lots. So they're like, well, we'll move your house, and here's a different lot, but. It's never something good when you hear when it happens to you, right?
This one girl had a house, literally 3 generations of her family lived there. They had a nice pool in the backyard, really nice little garden and forested lawn. The point is, if you're just freaking running power lines, you should be required to move, maybe go a little bit out of your way, make a curve around, like seize your own stuff first, move a road or something.
Can you guys
Joe?
hear?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, hey, Joe.
So, yeah, my city is going through a drought right now, and somehow we're still getting an AI data center. I don't understand how the math works on that.
God, I understand, all of these data centers, why they're needed and where they're needed and whatnot. And I do think that some of the the opposition to them in many cases is not very well informed, but there's also very real concerns that people have, and those need to be properly addressed in these areas where they're going to build them. They should not be doing anything involving eminent domain to build data centers. That's absurd. The companies that want to build those data centers need to be paying people what their property is worth, or they need to be, need to just be built somewhere else, right?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Well, and the other thing is, man, if you just don't hate all of these data centers enough at this point, because. Seriously, it's not just RAM prices. Everyone's been complaining about the RAM prices. I needed
CPUs,
to
everything. Yeah.
Oh, I needed to buy a new hard drive, upgrade a hard drive for some a backup, NAS that I have here in the house. And 2 years ago, I bought a 12 terabyte, like RAID quality NAS quality drive for $180.
Was it now like 400?
And then last year, I needed to get one. I needed to get a second one. And that one cost me $245. Not too much, because the 180 I did get on a pretty good sale. So the 245,
probably higher
I was
now.
like, nah, So I went to go look the other day because I thought, you know what, I kind of need to get another one. I need to, add some more storage, whatever. So I went to go look at the other day that exact same drive, 180 in 2004, 240-ish, last year, $460.
Okay.
You know what it's like? I'm going to pull out one of my old computer shoppers. It's like buying a hard drive 20 years ago. I'm laughing at it, but the prices got down so low. But I had my first Micron 20 megabyte hard drive in my IBM AT. I think was like $3,000 or something.
I think we should restrict the data center building to space and under the sea, where where that whole problem with the water wouldn't be a problem.
Shouldn't they have to get the power? Shouldn't they need to set up the SMR reactor for power first and then build the data center so they don't have to tax the grid?
Yep. They really should.
Then they could put them anywhere.
The problem is our infrastructure has been so screwed up in this country. Our grid is terrible. And, we got, a great free country, but there's so many crazy regulations. Like I'm in Connecticut, and they just passed all these housing laws. You have to build much more affordable housing. In our town, the mayor just came out and said we're maxed out for natural gas, we're maxed out for electricity and sewers. they can't handle it. And Kathleen Hochul, the liberal wackadoodle in New York, blocked pipelines, so we can't get any more natural gas. So we're landlocked from getting So all these other states, so they're talking. I think they're suing New York State now to try to open up, and all these people that are against pipelines, they're morons. Sorry, I don't mean to rant, but I mean, there's freaking pipelines everywhere. Cut the crap. Like that big Indian reservation they were fighting. The reason they were pissed off is because the pipeline wasn't going through their land, so they couldn't get any money for it, and it was adjacent to them. That was the real reason. I mean, pipelines everywhere. It's just bullshit. It's like, sorry, Sean, cut the crap. I mean, you can't have a country without a pipeline. That's as much as I can't stand communist China, but they've got high speed rail. They can do things that we can't do here. They just seize your property. Oh, we're not even going to compensate you for it
except
properly.
they do that here too now. They seize it when they want, and they pay you far less than it's worth if you get paid at all.
Yeah, so it's we just have the strength of our country is we have separate states and we're fragmented, but the power grid is just an absolute disaster, and the infrastructure is just a train ride from New Haven to New York City takes longer now than it did over 100 years ago. What the heck is up with that? That should be the fastest train in the country. That New Haven Railroad is so well traveled.
At least you haven't dropped $90 billion and not even laid a single foot of track like California.
Right? Yeah. So they can't get anything done, right? So totally. Well, of course they're lining the pockets of their friends and their NGOs and everyone else.
Now they can't even get water in LA because all the 100-year-old water mains are bursting, and even rich people are starting to leave because they need water.
Well, that's what's going to happen in New York City. I mean, the uber wealthy, this tax isn't gonna bug them, but people make financial decisions and say it doesn't make sense for me to stay there. Like, yes, they can afford it, but like, well, why would I have my second house in New York City? Why don't I just go to Florida or Texas or somewhere that doesn't have an extra tax? So you end up with less of something the more you tax it. Just like those grocery stores, you're going to end up with less grocery stores, less options for people. The city grocery stores are going to fail, like you said, and then no one will have food.
No, anything 30% under market will get bought out and resold at a profit until there's any stock. But I'll tell you one thing, rich people might not care about gas going up. They might not care about food going up because it doesn't really affect them. But taxes going up, it affects them because they already pay it. They don't like that. So they will move.
Well, the overall climate of the state. Yeah, why? They might pay it for a few years, but then they're going to get out. And plus, the rich are the most mobile too. In Connecticut, we've lost a lot of the hedge funds. Same thing in New York with the internet now. You don't have moving to Texas. Why they don't have to be here. Like I knew a guy that was working in finance in one of the companies, and during COVID he moved to Florida, and then he told us he was like in our weekly poker game, when he lived here, and he's like and he came back and he's like, they told me to go back to work the next day. I said I can't come into the office. The boss is like, well, what do you mean you can't come to the office? You have to be here tomorrow. He's like, well, I moved to Florida.
That makes sense.
Right, they worked it out with him, but it's they're going to drive out all this investment, and you need rich people, entrepreneurs and innovative people are going to take a risk and put their capital on the line and grow a business and hire people.
$47 billion and 892 companies have already left New York since Mondami was elected. Include like the only person moving there is Netflix. They're doing that thing in New Jersey. But Chase, even though they still have their headquarters, they now employ more people in Texas than they do in New York.
Right? Yeah, it's not surprising. Yeah, AOC shut down the Amazon distribution center. They don't allow Walmart in New York City.
See, Apollo Global has left New York. I know there's that one. Who's the, oh man, it's hard. It's easy. In California, they've lost $2 trillion in taxable income in the last 5 years.
Not a surprise. Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, we're talking about Mondami, our favorite new mayor. Yep.
Who was saying that?
At Midnight's Edge, Tom.
Oh,
Tom is
was
in
asking.
the chat.
Hey, Tom. Yep. We're talking about how great the new He-Man movie is and how awesome it is now that it's streaming, and we're
I
watching
didn't
it
like
over
the
and
He-Man
over.
movie.
I wanted to throw stuff at my TV, but I'm enjoying Tom's great Twitter rants on He-Man. He's like, as long as these comments keep showing up in my feed, I'm gonna take down these bleepers. You know,
I haven't seen it yet.
They're doing an autonomous zone in Tom's neighborhood.
What?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Wait, for real?
I don't know.
Yeah. The Tom was posting the barricades and stuff. Yeah, because of the guy that they tried to apprehend a guy, and then he stabbed a cop, and then the cop shot the guy and killed
Tom,
him.
I
It's
just
like
DM'd you if you're around.
my cousin, who was a retired police officer, just said, just let us arrest you, and if we're wrong, you can sue us later, but don't resist arrest. You know.
Well,
Right,
he's in
in
Wisconsin, and that's too close to Minnesota.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Wait a second. Did we talk about how Mark Ruffalo?
No, we haven't gotten to Mark Ruffalo yet.
So yeah, what if you remember, we did a stream, and I told you guys that the final trailer didn't have him as Banner; it had him just as Hulk, in a kind of very threatening way. And I thought to myself, there was a reason why they changed that, why they're showing you this and not him as Banner, because there's so many clips that have resurfaced recently where this guy is like, saying the dumbest shit possible. It's like any dumb take that could exist on Earth about any subject, this guy has to have it. And always trying to like capitalize on whatever the current trend is. And the thing is that on one hand, he wants the current trend, and on the other hand, he's kind of an idiot. So it's not a good combination. He always just looks like a stupid person talking about stuff. If I were him, I wouldn't even talk about politics or anything because he just looks really dumb. But it doesn't stop him from doing that. And I feel like they said in the trailer they don't even want you to think that Mark Ruffalo is in this movie. They want you to forget about him. And I told you that. I told you that when we saw the trailer. And then today it turns out that they said that he couldn't do any press for this movie because he was working on his show Task. Now, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Usually an actor like him probably has a clause, even when he signs up for another show, that if there's some kind of commitment like that has to do with promoting or something like that with the MCU, I would assume that they'd give him, the evening off or whatever it is to go and, do this press. Even if it's not convenient for the production, I believe that usually they make it available for something like that. I'll give you an example. I can't believe I'm going to give you this example, but back in the day, I would sometimes book artists to perform in places, and we had one guy that he had some dealings with MTV. This is a long time ago, but it was when MTV had shows already, not so much music. And this guy, he would do some kind of performance and stuff and whatever, but he was also on MTV on some kind of show. So in the contract, whenever you booked him to perform anywhere, you added this like comment that says, if MTV calls him up like emergency, you have to go do A, B, C, and D. We have to reschedule the date. And they know that if they're on board for that, that's in the contract. Now, it's a bit different when a guy like Mark Ruffalo is filming Task or whatever it is, but I will say that there's still that idea that he's part of the MCU and that's big money for him. And if his agents are smart, they put in something like that. So I don't buy this idea that he couldn't have gone for an evening to promote it. I think that they absolutely didn't want him there. And I don't know if they told him why they didn't want him or how vocal they were with him. I can't imagine that they love all of the nonsense that he talks about. And especially Sony, who have had their fair share of learning what it means when you do all this kind of agenda peddling. And they even though they're an American company and they're maybe led by Americans here in the US, there's still some old school Japanese people doing something there. I think that they were smart in sort of getting rid of him.
Oh, you mean
hey there, Tom.
Sony did some leering?
I think that listen, it could be he had a busy schedule, but none of the other people there had a busy schedule. and he's so busy he couldn't show up for the event. I tend to think
Yeah.
that they didn't want him there.
Yeah, I agree. If they wanted him there, he would have been there. But he's been embarrassing, and he has.
Hey,
You know, the big thing is showing him praising Elon Musk a couple of years ago, and then calling him a monster now. He hasn't really done anything different.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, and then
Tom is here.
Musk really took him to task.
He made like a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Well,
He's trying to
I
switch to his
don't
OBS
really
camera.
pay all that much attention, but are you guys saying there's going to be no Hulk in Avengers Doomsday?
Oh, there will be.
No, he's not on the press tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love how Musk took him to task over, well, I've donated, $500 million to blah, blah, blah. What have you done, Mark? And he's like, you're worth this amount of money. You could donate 50 million, feed these people. I don't see you. And what about, the Gates Foundation? They're talking about USAID. And he goes, it's the most inefficient way to feed anybody. And if you really thought about it, you would understand. You just don't understand how hunger works. Remember when Musk offered to write a check like of $100 million if they just let him audit and show them how they would spend the money to end hunger, and they wouldn't do it?
told me I had AIDS.
Yeah, they couldn't. He said, "Show me the plan and I'll fund it. That'll work." And
Yeah,
there is no plan. But
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. He certainly has his issues, but come on, man. If somebody makes that offer, you call him on it.
Well, I mean, Mark Ruffalo, or to quote Cable Levine, Mark Duffalo. I mean, he's just a talking point spewer, right? He's got no original thought, no original ideas, and you can just tell listening to him. He just, listens to MS Now or whatever and just spews out the latest things. And it's just so easy to do too, right? I mean, when you think about it, if you're going to be a conservative or be an original thinker, it's a lot tougher. You can be a liberal and just say, yeah, give everyone free stuff, free everything, free this, free that. There'll be no wars anywhere. Everyone will live together in peace. And it's a perfect world. Yeah, but that's not the way the world works. There's evil in the world. There's bad people, and there's
I'm not sure what Tom is showing us, but it looked very interesting.
Oh,
Look at Chuck Norris.
That's the intro to Toxic Tuesday that I did for.
Okay.
I made an intro for Chuck Norris on Nick's channel.
it's
And Tom did that great
working.
song.
It's working.
It's working.
Oh, Tom, you can turn on your virtual camera and then just throw an avatar up.
I am going to. I guess
All right,
Nice.
Tom knows
Or
his
virtual.
Tom's a
whatever it is
professional
that you
Yeah,
do, but-
Normally, normally he would have to tell me that stuff because I'm tech-tarded.
Well, didn't I already saw the OBS screen, so you had it on.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, sort of. I still had to figure it all out. 'Cause I suck.
Well, you can remain.
You have to hit that button
mysterious.
that says start virtual camera.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I think you already did that.
Well, that's
Then you
why.
He just
gotta
has to show a scene.
Yeah, you got to put like a static avatar or something there. Yep.
I'm getting there.
We'll
Or a
give
goofy
Tom an
robot
OBS
or whatever.
lesson. Yeah. Yeah, the black square is Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom.
It's haunted.
Yeah, I don't think
painted.
Noelle likes.
Marquette's 47.
Noelle doesn't like Elon in the chat there. She said something about. So
Well,
I mean, I have mixed. I'm not like a mindless worshiper of the guy. He has some.
I think it's
He's
pretty
got some
freaking
issues.
impressive what he did. I mean, come on.
yeah.
You got I'd pick any one of his companies if he was leading that, and he was the darling of everyone before he got involved in the politics. Yeah, it doesn't mean you should worship a businessman.
I mean,
No.
I mean, we need more immigrants like Elon.
Yeah,
than
he
some of
loves
these people ripping us off. I mean,
yeah, but he has a tendency to grossly overpromise and underdeliver, and that gets
That is an
irritating after a
issue.
while.
Yes, it is an issue.
I'll tell you what. Nobody's perfect, and I think that there's no use putting him on a pedestal. But I will say that at the end of the day, when you kind of zoom out and look at so many companies, so many things that he's done, and so many ventures and where he's at, I still think that he's obviously not an idiot. Whether you like him or not, a lot of times I see people like those kind of people that don't like him on the far left or whatever. They're like, he's such an idiot. It's like, yeah, you need to think of something else aside from he's such an idiot. Whether you like him or not, I think objectively speaking, saying that he's stupid is a strange thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does have a tendency to act in his own self-interests, like many people do. But if he hadn't have bought Twitter when he did, we would be looking at a vastly different media landscape at the moment.
Stephen Mack just put that in the chat as well. Yep.
Yeah, he did make a difference. Like him or not, it did change something. And yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff will be self-interest. He's a businessman. You don't get to be such a wealthy man with so many businesses and everything if you're just some pushover guy. He's the opposite of that. And maybe there's people that have worked with him and maybe they don't think he's a nice guy, and maybe he's crossed paths with people that didn't like him. And I certainly am not saying he's perfect in any way, but at the end of the day, I guess I can't say that he's dumb, at least that.
When Elon gets money from the government, it puts people to work, as opposed to when the politicians skim all the aid money, that benefits nobody. So,
yeah, that's just a cycle of funding. Like the labor unions in Connecticut are our biggest employer, and then they give huge contracts and they donate huge amounts of money, and so it turns out with all these NGOs. They're like Newsom's wife. They're all donated all this money to all these NGOs, and then they're just wrapping it back to their friends. So that's why I have some good friends who work in the government in DC, and God, they hated Elon's guts. I mean, of course, because they're going after their livelihood, right? With Doge and trying to cut waste and abuse. And yeah, maybe they did go overboard on some things, but I mean, you're telling me there's no fraud and overspending in the government?
And I don't think Doge was a scam. I don't think he was allowed to go as far as he wanted to go. I think at some point they had to pull him back, and he wasn't happy about it.
It's all a scam.
Tim Hayes says he does act stupid. He had a temper tantrum over the big beautiful bill when Trump wouldn't give him his fucking way. Sorry, Sean. The thing is that he is an eccentric guy. He has an ego. He's an eccentric guy. He's sort of on the spectrum of somewhere, and certainly not kind of like your standard run-of-the-mill average guy. But sometimes you'll run into that kind of behavior, and there's ego and maybe even childish behavior when you don't get your way. But overall, I still think that if you look at the money that he's accumulated and the success he's had with his businesses, he must know how to do something. So yeah, he's eccentric and he's not a standard guy, but I also don't think it's right to say that he's an idiot. I mean, I'd love to be stupid like him.
Speaking of being an idiot, who the hell is Sean?
Sean.
That's Professor R2. That's Price. Whenever he swear, he always says sorry, Sean, because not defend the professor.
Okay. Basically, there's the guy Sean Crummell, my friend, who's an artist.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
He hasn't been here in such a long time that people forget.
Yeah,
I thought that was R2. I thought Sean was R2.
No.
Oh, see, I got it wrong too. I'm a moron.
Yeah, Tom, what does it say at the bottom of your avatar? I can't quite make out those letters.
I'll change it. Midnight's Edgelord.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were using that new AI font that looks like one letter, but it's a different letter underneath it, so you can get it to generate all sorts of swear words.
It's like a neon light, but
it probably looks fine on your monitor, but it's shrunk down.
Yeah, Professor, what are you? What font are you talking? Is that a real thing? Are you?
Oh, you didn't hear about that this week?
No.
There's a font that they're able to get various different AIs to generate. That it has an outline, so to the AI it looks like one letter, but then the color that they use to fill it is something else. And so they got AIs to generate images of a bunch of different really wildly offensive things. And of course, Grok was one of the ones they were going after rather heavily.
Using just the font? You mean using like just the like a text thing?
Yeah, here I can show you an example. Give me a second.
They call them decoy fonts.
Decoy font. Yeah,
those fonts.
Is that kind of like what we did in the 70s and 80s when we wanted to get a picture of a nude girly, and we used the ASCII dot matrix printout?
Is that more legible?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, we used Mark. We used National Geographic.
Well, that too. But that got
we
pulled
had
out of our.
Cinemaxes, but before that, you had to, try to peek through scrambled channels to find a nipple.
So there's just an example, a non disgusting, non awful version, where you can see that the AI sees.
Yeah,
Sorry,
if you blur your
robots.
eyes a little bit,
But if you
I
blur
don't
your
really
eyes
get
just
the
a little bit,
significance of this, I guess.
yeah.
And what's the other thing underneath it? What's it saying?
just blur your eyes a bit.
Blur your eyes just a little bit, kind of squint just a
Something
little
happy
bit.
human,
Oh.
happy robot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It says
robot.
sorry robot. So the AI sees this outline. It sees that and says that's the letter that it's creating. But then
Oh,
there's
wow.
this blurry stuff behind
Happy
it.
human.
And so they used this to create some really there's a few more basic examples. Let's see. I would imagine a lot of the
What
more
in the hell?
violent ones got deleted. There were some ones where they were making Grok say some
bad
awful things about people who live in the Middle East and things like that. So
I guess I don't get the significance of this.
It
well,
means
basically
that
they were able to force the AI to create things that were highly offensive.
Yeah,
That
and they
was
can't
without the
censor
AI
it because
catching it.
Yeah,
they
'cause the AI
don't
doesn't get
see it. Yeah.
Well, that's when they originally, when they had AI, was trying to generate people, right? Or say, and it was screwing up the generation of people, and then they had to stop it from.
I mean, I guess what is the point of that? Like, I guess like you're making fuzzy words, and then the AI comes up with words that aren't there.
So, if they're using AI to censor posts, it won't catch the nasty thing that you want to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you're
Other
making
thing
it
you-
say something highly offensive.
Okay, that answers my question better. Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell the purpose of it was.
So Tom, you could do something about like He-Man, like like, and then in the middle of the He-Man movie, you can say how horrible it is, right? So
You can get more
two
fisting
messages.
jokes through the AI, is what they're selling.
Yes.
I
There was one in particular that was going around that has not been deleted. But it says something very extremely offensive about black people.
Is it on
Is
Twitter?
it something about Barbara Streisand?
So if you look up Mecha Hitler
on Twitter or just
on
anywhere?
X, you'll probably find it. But yes, they got it because they're using that decoy font. They got Grok to generate an image that said F in words.
Horrible, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying to get Elon or any of these
exactly.
AI
They're
people
just
in trouble,
trying to
I
get.
guess,
Yeah, they want to create a story that says, "Look, Grok creates racist things, and Elon created Grok, so he's a racist." That's the whole point. That's the.
All right, I'm getting pissed. How can everybody else get their mouths moving on this shit and I can't?
Oh, it took work.
It takes
I
a
went to
little-
college for that.
You
Little
have to
fiddling.
prepare it ahead of time.
Mark, if I give you $5, will you do it for me?
Yeah. You give me $0, I'll do it for you too.
It's actually not. It's once you
pretty
have
quick.
the plug-in for OBS and understand what it does, it's not that hard.
I do have a question for you, Tom, if you're already here. Right as you were arriving, I told them when I saw the last trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day that I thought that Mark Ruffalo, they didn't show him anymore in Mark Ruffalo form. They just showed him as the Hulk. And I said they probably don't want you to know that Mark Ruffalo, or kind of forget that Mark Ruffalo is in the movie because he's talking so much nonsense these days. Next thing you know, they say that he's not doing any press for the movie. And you didn't go to the premiere. And the official explanation was he was so busy filming his show Task that he couldn't possibly make it to any press to do for this movie. It just seemed kind of odd to me. It seemed like they know that he's a liability and preferred not to show him. So I was wondering what you thought about it.
Well, I heard you put that out there, and I agree with part of it. He was in the first trailer, remember?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to get us to forget that he's in the film, but they're definitely not. He's definitely under some sort of gag to not go out on the carpet. That's obvious as fuck. Because why else would you not have one of your main stars out on the red carpet for this movie? And like you said, in most cases, even if he's got to fly somewhere overnight, they're going to give him the day off.
Right.
They'll shoot around him for a day.
Oh, so he's in the Spider-Man movie? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I think
he's
also
barely in it.
If you remember, how many times in like the past year he's on a red carpet and says something stupid? We've had situations like that where he just
I agree with you there. Like, I think that they're definitely not letting him on the red carpet.
Because he can't keep his mouth shut. He just starts with like talking about
after what they had to deal with Rachel Zegler. I don't think they'll take those kind of chances ever again.
But what? So you'll never see him promote a movie. So I would think that at some point maybe they'll start thinking twice if to even put him in a movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might get to that point. He's lucky he's a decent actor, like a decent actor at best. Like I said, at best. I mean, I never used to hate him. He's actually from Wisconsin, and I'm embarrassed by it. Because I don't know where he gets this shit. Maybe he grew up too close to Madison or Kenosha. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's just it's frankly pretty obvious that they're keeping him from the red carpet. I can't imagine anything that because Tom Holland and Zendaya are what, twice as busy as he is?
Right.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal was there, and he's not even in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, but he's going to be in
but
this movie is a commercial for his movie, so he's going to be on
I
there.
don't know if it is. See,
Professor,
that's the thing that's funny.
What?
We've been here. Prof, could you DM me that link? I can't find it. From what I've heard, the third act of this movie is basically a commercial for Doomsday.
I don't know about that part because Andre saw it, and unless they're going to bring in a whole new cast and introduce them in Doomsday for the X-Men, I think Spider-Man's not even going to show up until Secret Wars.
Right, but isn't the Sadie Sink part the lead up?
I don't know
for
if she's going to be in Doomsday. I honestly don't know.
Up, right?
I think they're just I just think they're because this is what Andre said. Minor spoilers. The first half of the movie is one movie, and then the second half of the movie is an origin story for her character. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, I guess the big secret's out already, but he didn't insinuate that it was setting anything up. There's no after credit scenes. The only one is there's a post credit scene, and it's literally just the spider tracker, I guess. So there's no setup or any real tangential anything, as far as I could tell, to connect it to Doomsday.
If they're setting her up, it's a setup for something. Then maybe Secret Wars,
because they're clearly either that or they're because I think after Secret Wars is over and done, we're gonna have a completely new cast of X-Men and go ahead.
Yeah, they basically said that. Yeah, that's going to be back in the day in the comics when they had Franklin Richards sent all the heroes, and heroes were born to a pocket universe. So he sent the Avengers and the Fantastic Four to save them to this pocket universe, and that's when they hired Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, and they outsourced a bunch of the main books to these guys, and it lasted 1 year. It was some sales were high, but it was just a crazy storyline.
I mean, I could be wrong, and they're just keeping it all secret because they tried to keep this whole thing secret. But sorry, Mark.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But that's what they're going to do is they're trying to do this again. Like we had the same problem in the comics where they replaced all the male superheroes with female superheroes, and when kids went to go buy a comic book, like, well, Captain America's dead. Iron Man's been replaced by Riri Williams. Thor's has now been replaced by Jane Foster. And it just didn't line up. And of course, they did the same thing in the Marvel universe and the movies and wrecked it. And now, I guess what they're trying to do is do this reset, like this Heroes Reborn reset, or they're going to have a whole new universe or an Ultimate Universe. It's not going to be that exact name, but that's what they're trying to do. But if they were smart, when they do it at the end of Doomsday, they'd have Iron Man would come back, Captain America would come back, in costume, and Black Panther would be back. It wouldn't be his son, but they just don't know how to write good stuff anymore. And
I think they might bring half those characters back, but I think they're going to be different versions. Yeah, like I'm not even convinced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in anything beyond Doomsday and Secret Wars, most likely.
But they should have a new Iron Man, right? They should recast it or figure it out down the road.
It's going to be gonna be the Ultimate Universe, right? They're gonna go back to the Marvel Ultimate to do all the characters, and so it'll be Miles Morales, and it'll be the child Tony Stark.
Well, the thing is if Feige wants to do Miles Morales, he's gonna have to buy Spider-Man back.
Yeah, he will.
And this is
because Sony
positing,
has specifically said they don't want a live action Miles Morales.
And I've been positing for a while that it makes more sense right now for Sony to just sell Spider-Man to Marvel. And I know at first you're like, what do you mean? It's like one of the biggest things I got. But the problem is they don't make as much money on Spider-Man as you'd think they do. And you guys are probably aware of this, but in case some of the folks on the panel
because of the merchandise, right?
Because of the merchandising deals and all the stuff that went down back in the day with the way the rights are split up, it would make more sense. And again, I'm just speculating, positing, this is just me saying this, though there have been rumblings to this effect. And I can give you some circumstantial evidence to back it up. It would make more sense for them to just make a deal, sell Spider-Man off for like $5 billion to Marvel, get a back-end percentage on any Spider-Man movies that are MCU or Spider-Verse movies for the next 10 years. And
they would have to make sure they did gross because Hollywood accounting.
Either way.
They only paid $7 million for the rights to Spider-Man.
I mean, at the end of the day, they could get at least $4 or $5 billion.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
For sure.
And I think Marvel would fork that over because Spider-Man's the biggest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, isn't that kind of a confusing thing where Marvel already owns like Spider-Man as a character, but
they do, but they don't have the movie rights and certain television rights. It's really convoluted.
Because back in the day when the company was struggling, Marvel, they tried to sell those characters. It's funny that Sony probably could have gotten like a
Michael
ton
Jackson
more.
almost bought them at one point.
What did you say?
Michael Jackson almost bought them at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, but am I right that I think that originally they didn't just offer them Spider-Man, they offered them whatever for really
the
cheap.
entire freaking thing.
Right.
Stan Lee was living in California in the West Coast and didn't have really anything to do with the comics for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to make money for Marvel selling the rights to characters as just an alternate revenue stream. And then eventually years later, the company got into big trouble and went.
But that's why
went bankrupt. Toy Biz
all the rights are all over the place. Yeah.
Yes. Like Universal's got some rights and
not anymore, but they did for a while. But
years
Did
ago,
they get
but like
the Hulk back from Universal or not?
Yeah, they did. From my understanding, that lapsed a couple years back. But from what I know, they just have zero interest in making a standalone Hulk movie. And with Mark Ruffalo, I can understand.
Right.
Yeah. The distribution rights even reverted back. But can you believe in 1999, $7 million is what they paid for Spider-Man? Is that not? That's like Blockbuster would have bought Netflix.
And they bought that up, picking it up from like the fire sale that was the death of Canon Films, from my memory.
Yeah, because
or maybe I think Fox had it in between there, maybe because I think Lightstorm was involved for a while. Because again, you got to remember, a lot of what carried into Sam Raimi's version came from James Cameron's treatment.
Yeah,
like if you go find that treatment, that treatment has the webs in it to where it's organic. There's like 2 or 3 scenes that are written out that are almost verbatim what they are in the movie that we got, and it's like there's no way he didn't read this treatment and just lift those ideas.
I remember Cameron was doing a Silver Surfer movie too in the 90s. They had a guy trying to stand on a magnetic surfboard sliding down a rail and he was all painted up with silver.
Yeah, to get it back around to what I was saying is the reason why I think it would make more sense for them is because, like Price was pointing out, they don't get shit for the toy sales. They do get a small percentage or a percentage from the movie toy sales, but that's just because of the deal they finally made. Because I had heard, and this was confirmed later on, that basically the reason that Spider-Man 3 was being delayed was because Tom Rothman said we're basically making a $200 million commercial for Disney toys.
Yeah.
And got pissed.
That was a Spider-Verse, you mean, right?
Yep. Because he goes, what the hell are we doing this for? Because, they're only making $300-400 million at the box office. That's all that Disney or Sony is seeing. Disney's making all the toy money off those. And that's the sad part is those generated like $2 billion in toy sales. Yeah.
What happened to the third one? Huge. What happened to that third one?
It's still coming.
Yeah, it's supposedly it's still in development.
here's the funny thing. Rothman said, we're done with this Spider-Man shit. And then
but they didn't finish the damn story. I've been watching it. Can't Sony keep the animation and Marvel?
They're going to do a third film. As far as I know, it is in production. It's just they're dragging their ass on it. But he had turned around a few months ago and said, we're not doing any more of this Spider-Man shit, meaning we're not doing, Venom and all the other
Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah, not, the animated film was technically safe and is still technically safe. But now he's turning around, and this is where my circumstantial evidence comes in. Now he's turning around and saying, oh, no, we're definitely making more Spider-Verse movies. It's like, now, wait a minute, Poncho. 3 months ago, you were saying, nuh-uh, this shit's dead. Especially after, what's it called? Crashed and Failed, the one with Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter. Well, that's when he said it. So he's like, yeah, we're done doing this crap.
They have other options, like the next time they renegotiate the contract with Marvel, they could say you can use them, but we can use them too. As of now, when Marvel makes a Spider-Man movie, they can't, which is one of the things I heard why the real Mary Jane hadn't showed up.
That's part of it. And I know that was part of the original deal. I don't know where it's at now, because I know Feige,
nobody really knows.
Yeah, because I know Feige was really had a hard on for getting like Venom into the MCU and stuff like that. So I don't know what deals he's been finagling in the background, because I know that was part of the reason why they had, the whole thing with him in Spider-Verse and shit like that. So, No Way Home, not Spider-Verse, sorry.
But let's make a movie with.
I wanted to ask you, Tom. Andre legitimately liked the movie.
Yeah. He said it's the third best Spider-Man movie, but it's 2 movies for the price of 1, basically, is what he's saying. And he didn't say the second half was bad. He just said it makes it go too long.
Didn't he say it lost momentum, or am I mixing that up with somebody
He may
else?
have said it lost a little momentum. I don't remember exactly, but how he put it. But he did say that it was like, this should have been 2 movies, basically.
Yeah, I felt like he was a little lukewarm on it.
It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Yeah,
2:25.
I felt like he was a little
could have been
lukewarm
2
on the
90-minute movies.
Based on what we're seeing from the few people in our circles that have seen it, that comment of the 2 movies in one is
a common comment.
And I personally think that they were going to make a regular Spider-Man movie, but then Kevin Feige started thinking how he shoves in whatever quote unquote
it might be 2 scripts crammed together, because honestly I think that's pretty much what happened in No Way Home.
Well, it sounds like the Batman. Exactly what happened to the Batman movie.
Well, for those who don't know what happened to Spider-Man No Way Home, it was originally just going to be a follow-up to Far From Home. And at that point, that was the end of the MCU Sony deal. And Amy Pascal had it in her head that she was going to just spin it off. And that's why I'm pretty sure that movie ended that way, the way it did. So they could just take Tom out of that universe and not have to worry about it anymore, because they could still use Tom and they didn't have to worry about it. And then they could bring him into the Venom world and all that kind of stuff. And as far as the public knew, unless you're like one of us who are keen to this shit, you would just think Spider-Man's still an MCU character when he technically wasn't. But that didn't work out that way. So now they're still continuing on. And the way Spider-Man No Way Home happened was, so the first part of the film is kind of a wrapping up and a tying up of sorts, but it also sets up what happens next, right? So that's why it kind of feels like 2 movies, because they took that one script, crammed it up, because the whole thing changed focus the moment they announced Michael Keaton was coming back as Batman. And the reason people forgot that is because it took so long for the Flash to hit the cinema, right? Like, it took so long. They actually announced that Batman was coming back before Spider-Man No Way Home even was a twinkle of this idea, right? And the moment Kevin Feige heard that, he went and said, we're going to get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back. And he had to finagle his way through Sony to make that happen. So whatever sweetheart deal they worked out after that, that's where I guess their partnership was better. So I think they gave them a better deal. Marvel did, is my guess.
Yeah. There's another thing to consider, though. Depending upon where AI goes,
right?
Sony might want to hold on to the rights if they can crank out Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I think you said that last night, or somebody else had said the same thing too. And it's plausible. I'm not saying they can't. It's just that Tom Rothman has 0 fucking patience for this shit.
Yeah.
And he has flat out said that. He does not understand comic book movies. He doesn't get them. He almost seemed giddy when that last one flopped, so he could go, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, but he does understand money.
Yeah, so. But for those who don't know who Tom Rothman is the man who wouldn't let Deadpool happen and slap that shit on his face so he couldn't talk anymore. in the Wolverine movie.
Yeah, yeah.
That's who Tom Rothman is.
Does he acknowledge that he did something stupid today, or he doesn't admit it?
Never. The only thing he's ever admitted is that he just didn't quite understand the superhero craze, and he had to have some people explain it to him, but he still doesn't like them.
Yeah, but I don't think the final say belongs to him. So
no, but he acknowledged, like, yeah, you got to have movies like that so we can make these other films that I like to make. And this was, right after he had hit big with like Baby Driver and some other things, because that was the thing, is he was the worst thing ever over at Fox. Yet he was the best thing to ever happen over at Sony. He has brought Sony back from the brink, Sony Pictures, that is, because they were in such rough shape after Amy Pascal and the dude who took over after her.
Yep.
That they were just in such dire straits. I can't remember. They'd had so many flops in a row, and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies had not done well and all that kind of crap. And he come in and he just started moving and shaking and making movies that were not sequels to everything. And that's the one thing he flourished over there, because they didn't have a bunch of franchises at Sony that weren't Spider-Man. They just don't. They didn't have a bunch on hand other than video game franchises, basically. So
I'd like to know why Amy Pascal.
So yeah, sorry.
I'd like to know why Amy Pascal still has a job after 2015.
Because she got her hooks into everything. She's technically removed from the lot at Sony, right? Like they fired her. They flat out fired her.
Her name's still on everything, man.
Yes, because she's got it in her, whatever she got done with her contract. She's got her wagon hitched to Spider-Man.
Yeah, and now James Bond.
Very smart.
Now James Bond.
Yep.
Out of that whole conversation, I just like the part where Deadpool decanonized that bad Deadpool you were talking about.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was the funny thing about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I felt some people were kind of not giving it enough credit by calling it a dumb popcorn movie. It's like, no, if you really step back and look at that movie, I think that thing's setting up a lot of shit for the future. And it's kind of makes Disney the bad guy. And I think they weren't aware of that. And Ryan Reynolds was fully aware of that.
Yeah.
Because the only reason all this shit's happening is really the meta part of it is because Disney is deciding what they're doing with the Marvel universe. So they bought Fox and killed it. Right. So they literally
look at the Blade joke. There'll only be one Blade.
Like, there's no way he would have gotten away with that.
Yeah,
come on.
But they were still. They should have gone harder in the paint on Disney. I think they were too restrained.
I think he did the best he could.
Yeah.
I honestly think he did and I'm not even personally. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Reynolds as a person, especially from everything in the last few years. But
yeah,
like as far as
really,
Deadpool,
he's so cute.
he may be cute, but yeah, don't go looking up stuff about him and his wife.
He is a toxic, evil, manipulative narcissist, allegedly.
Yeah,
he seems like a douche. I knew somebody who worked in entertainment.
What, really?
And they were, and they met him somewhere, and they kind of said, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" And he's like, "No," and kept walking.
I have not heard one good story about.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the guy. I've never heard. I'm not saying that I know a million people that have run into him, but anybody that I have, I've never heard anything good about him.
I've heard at least 3-4 people that have met him. They all say pretty much the same.
Yeah, and I've seen film, and plus he puts his businesses in all the scripts. He'll shove his fucking gin everywhere. Sorry, Sean. And
I do like him as far as the character Deadpool and certain other things he's done. Right. I mean, he's got that. It's funny because he's almost like the new Chevy Chase in a weird way, but he's able to still be an asshole yet get away with it. Chevy Chase eventually just said, "No, we're done with this shit."
Yeah, he's got such great PR. Did you see Reynolds going around San Diego Comic-Con in the gray suit, and no one knew that it was him? That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that was brilliant. See, that was brilliant. But that was obviously a PR stunt.
Yeah,
but the funny thing about it is we're learning that none of those people knew. I kind of figured none of the
they didn't know it was him.
Goers.
Yeah,
but even like Sergeant Slaughter and the celebrities had no idea it was him.
Yeah.
No,
RDJ and Paul Rudd's lines were not scripted, which is why he edited them out of his show reel after he broadcast his whole little thing. When they said, "Have you been hit on the head?" Or they said, "Why don't you go check out the Wrexham football team or something?" I think those were ad-libbed by those guys who weren't fans.
Well, I will say this.
Well, didn't we hear they were butting heads on the set?
Yeah, we
yeah.
did hear, but I don't know if they were butting head with him. Did we ever find
Yes,
out?
we actually heard that. Well, specifically, it was Ryan Reynolds' people and RDJ's people that were butting heads because
Interesting.
Yeah.
there was some arguments on who was going to have more control over things.
Who would have more screen time
And
or
this
more
was
lines,
right, of
yep.
course, after Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Wolverine, hot off that, and then Bob Iger leaves the building. That's honestly the only reason I think a Deadpool 4 got announced too, to be honest with you, because he had said that there was never going to be a Deadpool 4. And I think that was just purely either just a negotiation tactic or just because he didn't want to deal with Bob Iger again.
Well, that line in the movie, yeah, Hugh Jackman, you're gonna play Wolverine till you die, or what was the line? Like,
they're gonna have
90
you
till you're 90,
doing this till you're 90.
I want to answer Noel here. Price, have you seen the Paul Rudd music movie? I, in fact, am one of the only people in the world that have seen that movie. I saw it when it came out. I sat there in the theater by myself. I thought it was a really solid movie, and it was made for about $7 million. I think that they just rolled it out very quickly in and out of theaters, not even doing any kind of marketing. And what I was reading is that Amazon already had some kind of pay-per-view deal. And when the movie costs $7 million to make and Amazon think they're going to make money on pay-per-view and on streaming, nobody really cares. So they just kind of rolled it out to theaters for 5 minutes to do a check mark. And it's a shame because it's actually one of the better movies I've seen.
I actually heard 2 or 3 good reviews for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The screenplay worked. It was a movie that had like heart. It had a story that plays out. It was, I think, maybe Paul Rudd's one of his best performances to date. And
Mark was asking the title.
What'd you say?
What movie?
Power Ballad.
Okay. I'm watching it now.
What do you mean you're watching it now?
Well, I watched about the first half. It's kind of. I'm not a huge Nick Jonas fan, but I had to eventually fall asleep, so I watched the
What's
first
weird
half.
is he's playing Paul Stanley.
Yeah,
it says Rick, a washed-up wedding singer, and Danny, a fading boy band star, bond over music and a late night.
Don't spoil.
Yeah, no, it's
well, that's IMDb. I'm just reading.
Yeah, don't.
Right. But
no,
I honestly was happy that I didn't know much of anything, and I quickly went to start.
I've seen a trailer.
Yeah.
I think the trailer gives away too much, but at the end of the day, I thought that the movie was very solid. I mean, if you get to the end, I actually, the more I watched it, the more in the theater, the more like I got through it, the more I was enjoying it. And yeah, Nick Jonas, I'm definitely not a fan of his, but I thought he was decent in the movie. He doesn't ruin the movie. I think he's fine.
That Paul Rudd really singing?
Yeah, it was.
He can really sing. Yeah, so listen, I didn't watch it all the way through because I was falling asleep, but the movie's good. I really enjoyed the part, like his relationship with his family. It really is. It's very sincere film.
Get to the end of the movie without falling asleep, and like it's rewarding in that sense.
I believe it. I didn't.
That's not a good. That's not a very glowing.
No.
I'm
if
saying
you can
that,
make it to the end of this movie. It's
no. I mean, the thing is that this is exactly the reason why when I saw it in the theater, I thought to myself, this is a shame. Because if you would have released this movie 15, 20 years ago, it probably would have been kind of a hit in the theater or one of those kind of sleeper hits or whatever you want to call it.
Before streaming.
Yeah, these companies don't even bother. They don't even care if anybody sees it in the theater. There was so little effort that went into marketing it, and for $7 million that was spent on making it, they simply just didn't want to spend additional money on marketing.
Yeah, I didn't abandon it. I just hadn't slept for 24 hours. So,
well, give it a try sometime when you're awake, and I think you'll enjoy it.
I'll probably finish watching it after the stream. I did want to point out the. So the line when Deadpool goes, "Why is Thor crying?" Paul Rudd goes, "Because he's a Wrexham fan." Yeah. And then he asked about the filming schedule, and RDJ says, "It's in the can, buddy. Look around. Have you hit your head?"
This is an awful expensive way to announce a movie.
Yeah. Have you started filming yet?
Yeah. But those two comments, he edited them out when he put it up the thing on his Instagram.
Yeah,
so
none of that was scripted. Those were all ad libs. None of the,
right. That tells me that wasn't part.
That was
and
Reynolds. Okay, that's amazing.
They were kind of digs at him, and I thought it was funny.
Well, in that case, he should have left him in. But anyhow, that being said, yeah.
You know, he's a narcissist, though. He can't have somebody, he can joke about him not being likable, but he can't actually show him really not being liked.
The truth is, though, a lot of times in the history of Hollywood, you had very difficult actors and actresses. Sometimes people that have characters are kind of douchey. It happens a lot with actors. Back in the day, we just didn't used to hear a lot because the information didn't travel as much. But
Didn't have cell phones and the internet. Yeah.
right, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really care if he's a douche. If I see a movie and I think he's good in it, it's fine. I understand that he's not.
Yeah,
a
I'm not
very
going to
nice
judge him.
person.
I mean, it's not like he's hurting anybody physically. It's not like
Yeah.
he's being accused of this, that, or the other. Like, it's some shady business stuff and personal shady business stuff. Like, because basically, from what I gather, uh, what Blake Lively did on to that one dude.
Yeah, that hurt somebody, and that was reportedly
That was
kind of his
shitty.
idea.
Harsh, but that's the
beyond
thing is that
shitty.
you can't really confirm whether or not he did. But the thing that I noticed was that was very similar to what he did to that. Oh God, I forgot his name. The guy from the Deadpool 1 and 2 that wasn't in 3.
Yeah, not Lyman.
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller.
Yeah,
It sounded like when he come out on that podcast and was talking about the way Ryan Reynolds just kind of gave him the cold shoulder and did what he did to him. There was like 3 or 4 things that Ryan Reynolds did to him supposedly that were exactly the same things that Blake Lively did to the other guy.
yeah, and Rob Liefeld too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So again, his personal things, I don't know what his issue is or why he's such a dick from what I hear all the time. I mean, he was a child actor. He's probably had everything handed to him his whole life. He's got
Yeah.
more money than Jesus. So, I mean, he doesn't really need anybody's approval. He can probably walk away from Hollywood anytime he wants. He's got everything
Were
he's
his
ever
parents
wanted.
in the industry or
I don't know if they were, but between his mobile company and all his other investments, he's
he's set? Yeah.
Yeah.
set pretty well from what I heard.
yeah, well,
So.
some of his businesses are failing, like the gin company, but he still have
It don't
plenty of
matter.
money. And they still don't pay their contractors either. But the thing is, we know Christian Bale can be notoriously hard to work with, but the results speak for themselves, so we're okay with it.
Well, you have different actors, right? You have the ones
Yeah.
that are just complete dicks, and you have ones that are difficult. You have ones that are
Turds.
professional as fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
But then, then there are people like Val Kilmer, where I think like the line is he's hard to work with, but that's only when people are being unprofessional around him, like Bruce
yes
Willis.
and no. I think he admitted that later on in life he kind of let the fame get to his head.
There was also
Yeah.
moments that he was going through a divorce, and I think that
Yeah,
he was
because post
drinking.
Batman, he thought he was the biggest fucking star on the planet.
Yeah.
That does
But-
Like if you'd have
happen.
asked him, he would have
Yeah.
said, "I'm the star of Top Gun."
But,
I'm the star of this. I'm the star of that. Like,
Yeah, but when you hear the stories like of somebody who's being competent and professional and doing what they're supposed to, hey, I got along with them great, and it's only the screw ups that don't get along with certain people.
well,
So
it's all
unless you're
about
there,
money,
you don't
right?
really know what's going on.
Yeah, it's all about money. As long as they're worth money, that's all that matters. Because that's what happened to Chevy Chase. Is he
Yeah,
had 2
well.
or 3 flops in a row, and people are like, "Yeah, we're done making Chevy Chase movies." Now.
Yeah.
He was yesterday's news, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of
Especially if
people were
you don't
very
have-
happy to do that.
He was
If you don't have
notoriously
any
difficult.
goodwill, it
Well, that's
makes
the
it
thing you got to
easier to
remember.
drive
If
them,
you're
right?
somebody that's like getting to that ring of celebrity, it's like you better treat people nice because on the way down, they're going to
Down,
treat you
yeah.
the same way you treated them on the way up.
Yeah. Like Bill Murray is notoriously difficult, but he still brings in the bucks.
Yeah, and his difficultness ranges in differences. Like I think he's just like bipolar and got all sorts
Yeah.
of
Well,
things that's
usually
never been
Well,
diagnosed. but
Lucy
yeah.
Lou's not a big fan. Shall we
yeah,
say?
he usually starts off happy, and then the longer the production drags on, the grumpier he gets, which is why smart directors film all the happy scenes with him first.
And that's if you're lucky you didn't get him showed up
Oh,
first
good
place. But yeah. Because the stories
Like,
of him not showing up are nightmare stories. from what
Yeah,
I've heard.
Groundhog Day was filmed in reverse order of the movie because the director knew him. Yeah, Harold Ramis, and he's like, "We're gonna film all your happy scenes first,
Right.
and then the beginning scenes when he was the biggest a-hole."
Well, yeah, because he knew by the
Those
end
were
they
the
were going
last
to be
to be
talking
filmed,
to each
yeah.
other, which actually happened. So yeah.
And that's funny because a lot of Bill Murray movies are all about him being an asshole and learning to be less of one.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you can
True.
kind of play to that type very well. And that's the thing is, as much of an
Good point,
asshole
Joe.
as he would be sometimes, he's a very generous guy too from a lot. You hear
Yeah.
random stories all the time of him just showing up at people's weddings out of nowhere and then like giving big gifts and all that kind of stuff. And or just showing up wherever at ball games and here and there and everywhere, and just he's even got it's either 800 or 900 number. I think he changed it to a 900 number now, but because people got a hold of the original. But like, I don't know what it is now. But anyway, there's a number you just call because he doesn't have an agent. He hasn't had an agent, I think, since the 80s. And you just call the number, and he listens to the messages, and if he likes what you tell him, he will call you back, or he'll just show up.
Wow.
But like,
Did you
even
see that
guys like
documentary about Bill Murray like going to parties and stuff? Did you see there was like a
I didn't
movie
see
or
that, no, but
documentary?
I do know. Yeah, I do know the
Yeah.
stories. I've heard God knows how many stories where it's like, oh yeah, Bill Murray showed up at a wedding this weekend. It's like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
out of
Amazon
nowhere,
or
or
something.
a
It was a
yacht
streaming
party.
thing. I started to watch it. Yeah, like imagine Bill Murray showing up at your bar mitzvah or your wedding or whatever. Yep, Bill Murray's here. Yep. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed Zombieland here in Atlanta, and those guys used to go out to some of the local pubs and hang out.
And
I
that's
love
what I'll
his
do.
appearance on
when I
that.
saw him. Yeah.
His only regret was Garfield.
Garfield.
And that was
I
a
don't know
big
if
hit,
it's
wasn't
true,
it?
but with Garfield, there's a rumor that he thought that one of the Coen brothers was making the movie, so he
I don't know if
committed
I
to
believe
it.
that or not.
I don't know.
It's strange because it's Joel X. Coen, right? The guy who did who's a director on Futurama and
Yep.
Right.
other things. Not Joel Coen, the Coen brother, but
Yeah, he could have he probably mixed them up.
maybe. But at
Maybe
the same
Bill
time,
should
I
have
don't
had
know if
an
he's making
agent.
a joke. See, that's the
Right.
problem
Maybe
with Bill.
should have had an
You
agent.
don't know if
Yeah.
he's joking or not. It's 50-50.
See, that's the thing, because the story ends. That famous story goes, yeah, I thought it was one of the Coen brothers, but when we did the
Well-
sequel, I did it from the yacht that the first movie
Yeah.
bought.
Didn't he? Yeah, didn't he?
He did the voiceover work from his own yacht. Yeah.
He bought another house. I'm sure those checks didn't bother him. I
No, he
doubt
bought a
he
yacht.
regrets
That's
that.
what he said on, I think it was like Leno or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it was at the time. I don't remember what show it was.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
Well, it's much better buying a yacht so you don't get taxed for that extra house in New York City.
he made a mint off that. That's what I think is it didn't matter. He's just making a joke. I think he just
Yeah.
was like the money.
Yeah,
Duh.
he doesn't regret those.
I don't think and I think there may have been like there might have been this little like handshake to Lorenzo Music there. Because for those who know, Lorenzo did the voice of Venkman on the cartoon of Ghostbusters.
Right.
And then he took over doing this was not too long after Lorenzo had passed away. So it kind of was, and it's like there was only a few people who probably could have got away with doing Garfield's voice, and people were just like, okay. Because that first movie is not good, but it's not wretched. Right? The second movie is fucking wretched.
Yeah. Do you remember what Billy Bob Thornton said when they asked him, why did you do Eagle Eye? And he's like, I wanted a house. Like,
I'm so happy I got you guys talking about Garfield, but I've got to go to bed. I've got stuff to do. So
All
good
right,
night,
Jill.
guys, and enjoy.
We're
all
probably
this
going to
and
wrap
listen.
up
Good
pretty
night,
quick
Joe.
anyway. So
Actually,
take care,
I
Joe.
hate that newer one, actually. I was kind of surprised at how funny it was, even though they changed a bunch of his origin story. I was expecting to hate it.
Good night, guys.
Good night. I don't think
Take
I
care,
watched
Joe.
it yet.
Bye, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I wasn't gonna, and then just decided to hell with it. Why not?
Is that the one with Chris Pratt?
Yes, that's the worst part of the movie. To be honest with you, is Chris Pratt doing the voice because he just does not capture Garfield. I'm like, who has what? Why hasn't anybody thought the perfect voice for Garfield? Stephen Wright. Like,
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've
Duh.
seen the movie, but I don't remember it. That's the weirdest thing.
and I think Stephen actually did a Garfield voice once for a commercial, but I'm not 100% on that. But he's like the perfect guy to do it right now. Like, I mean, that's Garfield. He does
Remind me, what's the
everything
Chris
like
Pratt
this.
movie about? Because I vaguely think I like remember me watching it, but I don't remember
it's
it.
a re-origin story of Garfield in the beginning, and then because it starts out where John finds him in an alley because his dad went to go look for food, and Garfield thinks his dad left him, but he actually got trapped by a guy at the restaurant, and he was waiting for him to leave so he could come back, and John had picked him up in the meantime, but then by the time his dad got back, he seen that he was with John, so he just left him because he knew he'd be better off. And then years later, he shows back up, so it's like a deadbeat dad story, but the truth comes out, and there's other shenanigans going on in the background and stuff too. Samuel Jackson plays his dad. Like I said, the movie itself is fine. Odie's great in it. Garfield's fine. It's just Chris Pratt is not Garfield. he's just too happy-go-lucky as Chris. Like, it doesn't fit.
I don't even know if he's Mario.
No, he's not very good as Mario either. But like
I like Chris Pratt, but I don't know why they gave him those roles.
I don't either. Like I said, like it's right there. Stephen Wright can do it tomorrow. Like, what the hell are you doing? He's cheap. Like, I'm sure you'd do it for next to nothing. And then, I mean, like, if anything, I'm sure the Garfield fans would be like, yes, let him do the voice until the day he dies. Because as far as we're concerned, that's I have not heard one person argue with me on that.
Yeah, no, sometimes people like celebrity voices too. That takes me out of the animated film when they're too recognizable and they just don't fit in with that voice. So it really bugs me sometimes. It's like give some of those great voice actors a chance and let them have some of these big.
Well, we have AI now.
Roles.
Somebody out there listening, if you know how to do it, do me a couple scenes from a Garfield cartoon with Stephen Wright as the voice, and we'll see how it works. Because somebody went and took AI and did the first trailer or the second trailer or whatever from that movie, and they did an AI Lorenzo music voice, and I'm like, it's perfect, like it's fine, like that works. The jokes landed, but with Chris Pratt doing them, the jokes didn't land,
right?
Because he doesn't have the same thing that Lorenzo Music did with the voice, because he's always monotone no matter what, except for once in a while when he's like, nice touch. Things like that. And that's all the only times he ever brings it up a notch.
Right?
You could sell me powdered water.
And that, stuff like that.
I love Stephen Wright, good.
And I think he got perfect to do it. Like,
yeah, because he does the monotone thing, but then when he gets excited, it actually means something.
Exactly. And I think he's just got the right timbre, because Garfield is that. He's just, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to do anything.
I want to be fat and eat food.
Complain about Mondays. Yep.
Yeah. Because most of that shit's all in there. None of that stuff's a problem in the film itself. The story is just weird because it almost felt like an elongated episode where they kind of met with the farm characters, but the farm characters aren't there. I think there was a small cameo, but that was it. But like, because like it goes to the story of where they're trying to do this thing, and I don't want to get into all in case somebody wants to see it, but it's like this heist that his dad wants to do with the milk farm. and they end up running into this bull, and the bull wants to get back with the cow and all this other stuff. It's a cute little family. Like, kids would like it. If you got kids, it's definitely safe enough for kids, right? Like, there's nothing risque from what I remember in it. Ving Rhames, I think, did the voice of the one bull. So I mean, there's some recognizable voices in it and stuff. The guy that did John, I don't remember who he is, but he was just pretty much fine with it. He's hardly in the movie, but yeah. Yeah, and Odie doesn't talk. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, talking about not being in the movie. I also heard that getting back to our favorite Ruffalo actor, I heard Hulk is barely in the Spider-Man movie too. Is that
he's on the poster and he's in a lot of the second trailer, but
I hear he's barely in it. So
that's probably where the first half ish ends. Probably is like,
I was imagining that there's one big fight scene, and
with the Punisher and Hulk and him, and then he probably has to take on the Hand.
But the Sadie Sink stuff is like a major part of this movie, I guess it sounds like, or I kind of don't want to be spoiled.
Wait, Andre made it sound like it was pretty much an origin story of the last half of the movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
I mean, the spoilers, it's been kind of spoiled already between another actor and then Sadie. Just now that it's out there, she has just owned it.
What her character is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. It hasn't been confirmed, so for me, so I haven't heard it yet.
So. Well, I was just saying it kind of has been confirmed.
I was gonna say
it's been confirmed
for me, but yeah.
So
I wonder why that actor said that on the red carpet. Is he that stupid? Like that?
I think it was a slip. Yeah, I think it was the first time it was a slip. Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't, because I mean, it could have been something to generate some interest.
But what are they? They're already making so much money off the ticket sales. They didn't need it,
But going off of what you were saying earlier, Price, maybe that was just kind of to deflect from the Hulk Mark Ruffalo problem.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
You know what? Maybe That is actually something interesting. Maybe they're like, let's make sure everybody knows that this movie, like the Hulk, isn't
It was
so
already the
important yet.
worst kept fucking secret in the movie anyway, who she
Yeah.
was. So at that point, I think they can let that one slide and be like, and you notice, you know what? There's a pattern to this. Every time Tom Holland used to leak something before, remember? Like that was the whole thing, is they'd make jokes that they don't tell Tom anything because he tells.
he's
But
a blabber.
every one of these movies, something leaks just before the movie comes out. And I think it's always orchestrated, especially with the Spider-Man ones. It feels orchestrated.
With a big star like that too. I mean, once in a while you could let something slip, but
and I think they knew it wasn't going to make the weekend anyway, right? Like, I mean, it's eventually going to make it all over the internet.
Yeah, as soon as people see it on that early Amazon screening Wednesday night, it's going to be everywhere, right? I mean, whatever, any spoilers. That's why I still couldn't buy the ticket. There were 2 seats left. And I kept trying.
Are you kidding me?
But no, I could never buy the ticket. Yeah, I tried my phone browser.
You tried a different theater. Oh, they were all full, or what?
They're all full. Everything else was full.
Maybe they just maybe if you didn't buy them by a certain date or something.
Maybe it was a glitch or something.
Are you watching it tomorrow, Tom?
I am. Yeah, I'm challenging Chaz 2.0. Hopefully they don't burn my car up while I'm in the theater, if I can get to the theater in the theater. But yeah, I even checked where that activity is, like 10 blocks away from where I gotta go.
Oh god,
10 city blocks.
I just want to go see Spider-Man. Leave me alone.
I mean, I talked to somebody that I know down there, and I didn't mention any of it, and they didn't talk about it at all. So they just kind of talked like things were normal. So I'm hoping it's a very concentrated thing.
Yeah,
but it's that same thing with like people are like, how can people forget about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and Ghostbusters and like Ghostbusters Afterlife and all that shit? I'm like, do you realize how big New York is? Do you realize by the time news of that got to about 3 blocks away, everybody thought it was bullshit? Probably because that's the whole thing. Is everybody thinks the Ghostbusters are bullshit.
Yeah,
and there was nothing left but fucking ooze everywhere. Like, and they cleaned it up probably the next day. So and the birds probably helped with what was left. Probably a lot of seagulls there for a day or so.
Poor Mr. Stay Puft. Nobody believed him. That's true. If you ever been in New York City area, I mean, Queens is, Brooklyn. It was Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn's bigger than Queens. So I think Brooklyn would be like what, the number 6 city in the country or something like that. If it was just out on its own. I mean, it's just the whole Manhattan. It's just a massive. It's with the island there and the different sections. It's huge. I mean, like my kid was is working in Brooklyn, and when he was staying at his sister's place temporarily in Brooklyn, he had to take a train into Manhattan and then back to Brooklyn. It was faster, just the way the trains run and everything, and it's so massive. It was it's just crazy. Yeah, but yeah, it's a big it's a big city. That just made your brain hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, if Brooklyn were an independent city, it would be the 4th largest city in the United States. 2.73 million people.
Yeah, it's massive. It's fun. It's fun to visit. Yeah, my kids. 2 of my kids live in Brooklyn now, so it's
they
it's
do.
Fun. Yep.
Yeah,
are you in this area
upon.
Say again, Price.
Are you in New York and in the area a lot?
Yeah. I'm down in that area a lot. Yep. So,
are you ever in Jersey?
Sometimes I go to Jersey. Yeah, I went to the Jersey Shore for 4th of July weekend. Yep. So I'm on the east coast here. Yep. Are you in that?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey. One day we can drink a beer.
Definitely meet up. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Secret meetup. Yeah.
Depending on people,
Bruce Springsteen's your best friend.
Depending on how many people get murdered in Chicago this week, Brooklyn could be the 4th largest city in the United States.
What's even better is we had another shooting in Madison too on top of it all.
Oh god,
some other crazy fucker was running from the cops.
That's just insane. Yeah, and it always turns out these people have been arrested like 20 or 30 times before.
I think he actually shot somebody though, is why they were chasing him. So, but yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't think the cops chased anybody anymore.
I don't know. It was just funny because, I mean, we didn't really get to talk about it, but I don't know if you really want me to get into it too much. I don't know if you're just on Rumble or both YouTube and Rumble, but like, yeah, it was fucked up.
We're on both.
Because honestly, to me, it's just, because even my liberal dad, because my house, when I go to my house, it's like a reversal bunker house. Because like I'm Archie and he's meathead, it feels like. Because he's like, Mark Trump, I hate Trump, Trump. It's like, but I told him, I said, so what do you think about all this shit going down in Madison? And he barely even kind of knew some of it. So I'm like, so what is your CNN not carrying it or what? And he's like, well, I don't know. They talked a little bit about it. But I'm like, well, they didn't show what the shit that they're doing down there? He's like, not really. I said, well, they got fucking BLM down there like a motherfucker. And I said, no, it's funny. It's because he's not even black. He's Hispanic. He's like, oh, yeah, I saw that. I said, yeah, but they're blocking people from getting to their houses. They're blocking people from getting into businesses. They're trying to start Chaz 2.0. They got one of the roads blocked off last I knew. Like, it's insane. And most of these people are not even from Wisconsin. And the funny thing is if you go on any of the stuff from like Facebook or any of the posts and stuff, you can definitely tell that people are not with this one side of it, right? Like they're all pretty much in unison. Like, if you just listen to the cop in the first place, don't break the law, don't pull blades on the cops, and don't try to grab their guns, they might not shoot you.
They're trying to do a Summer of Love 2.0.
Yes, they're trying to make him a George Floyd again, and it's not going to work.
And it feels forced. Yes,
it is very fucking forced, and there's a lot of people calling the bullshit out. They even had this one lady out on the news talking about how, because she's the one who would, who's a part of the I don't think she's a part of the police, but she's part of like IA or something like that. But she's like, well, I can't only do what the laws tell me. So you got to go in and change the law. So she's basically telling people to go change the law so she can charge these cops with murder is what she's saying. Because like the thing is like, you and I both know most likely it's going to probably boil down to the guy's they're going to probably put him on trial, but he's going to probably get off because it's like, if you watch the video, yeah, he probably shouldn't have shot 3 times, but at that point, we're only seeing the last part of it. And they chased this guy for a while because, like, the whole story, the short version is they got in a report that somebody was suspiciously looking into vehicles or breaking into vehicles. They got multiple reports of it. They got, descriptions and all that kind of business. They confronted him. He took off, stole a bike in front of the cops and took off on the bike. And then I guess they tackled him on the bike. They tased him. He still got away. There was 3 or 4 cops holding him down at one point, and he was still struggling. He was grabbing for the other cop's taser or gun. I can't remember which. It's hard to tell in the video. But then he has a knife that he pulls out, I guess. And he cut the one cop that shot him. And the cop that shot him was like, after that point, he was like, fuck this. Basically, you can tell in his head. He was just like, no, we're done.
But he shot him after he got attacked with a knife, though.
Yeah, it was that point because I think he saw that he was grabbing for the other cop's gun, and he kind of had it for one moment.
Well, I mean, that's the ridiculous thing. Like I mentioned before you were here, like I have a cousin who was retired law enforcement, and
I heard some of your stuff.
You said, yeah, but I mean, and I've done like some martial arts training, for a couple minutes with, and we did the thing with the rubber knife and someone pulling a knife and trying to like shoot the guy. Like if someone's got a knife, I mean, it takes a long time to draw a gun. Then you're nervous, and this was like something that was set up like a practice thing with the rubber knife. I mean, you can get killed in a second with a knife. I mean, it's all these people. Like, what would you do if some's pulled a knife or attacked?
Well, what if you got a hold of one of their guns, right?
Yeah, I mean, so it's just totally ludicrous.
And just before the cop shot, the female cop standing behind him deployed her taser. Now I don't know if I did not see her mouth moving, and I don't think she said taser, taser, taser like they're supposed to. So I'm not even sure if he would have shot if she would have said that, because I think she was outside of his visual range. Because she shoots the taser, and literally within seconds of her shooting the taser, he shoots him. So I think at that point, both had the same
got a knife
idea.
Anywhere near me, I'm unloading on it. I mean, that's lethal force. I mean, it's not, it's not even.
Well, and of course, they're making a big deal out of the not having body cams. Well, what's funny is so many counties and places around here have body cams, but Madison does not.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, yeah.
Because they did not vote the budget to get them. Who the hell do you think runs Madison?
Yeah,
we know.
And the funny thing is when they had the press conference, they let this one dude come in and take over like he's Jesse fucking Jackson on the mic. And I'm sorry, but if I was the mayor, the chief of police, that would have been his last day of work. If you see that video, it is so sad because this guy just takes over the entire press conference for like a half hour. and he gets into it with another dude, and it's just crazy how they just allowed this shit to go on. They have no control. None.
Well, on that positive note,
sorry, I did not mean to go down that whole thing, but I know you guys were talking about it earlier. But it's like, I could not believe this crap is happening in Wisconsin. And I remember, when that stuff went down in Kenosha, I said that somebody's going to get popped. And of course they did. So, like, at this point, I'm like, if they think they're going to start doing some stupid shit, it's going to get awfully wild here.
Well, I mean, just my 2 cents on it. If you're I always think this, and this is the part where I never understand the people that are trying to do all these kind of protests and things like that. If the police have to chase you and they're trying to, arrest you, and you have something like that, like a knife or whatever on you, and you're trying to use it, this is a really poor decision on your end. You know what I mean? It's the type of poor decision that you can't really, all bets are off once you do that. And that somehow later we try to hear these spins of why, no, they really shouldn't have done this, they really shouldn't have done that. It's like once you do that, there's really nothing else that can be done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little more to it, but I gave you like the most truncated version I could, basically. But yeah.
Well,
this guy's got a rap sheet as long as the Mississippi.
Right. No, it's usually like that at the end, it's a guy that, repeat offender over and over again and running away and as a weapon and all this stuff. And at the end, these officers, they have to do their job. I don't think that they woke up in the morning with the intent or the desire to do that. But at the end of the day, this is their job. And it's the same thing, even with all that Summer of Love and things like that. And I'll just end with this story that, there was once, and I think I've told this story before, that I was driving and it was kind of in the middle of the night, and some like 4 police officers stopped me. And they seemed like they really wanted to give me a ticket, maybe for a quota or something like that. And they surrounded my car and they were really, really jerks. And they gave me a ticket that I didn't even deserve. I ended up fighting it and it was thrown away, but I couldn't fight it at that moment. Now, I had 2 options. I could have told them what I thought about them. I could have exited the car and yelled at them. I could have thrown a fit, or I could just understand it's in the middle of the night and there's 4 armed officers surrounding my car. I took the ticket. I told them that I didn't agree with it. And then the next morning, I started dealing with that. But in that moment, I left the parking lot and I drove home, and I didn't start arguing or fighting with them, because you're thinking to yourself, just logically, it's in the middle of the night, it's dark, and there's 4 armed officers around you. Do you throw a fit or not? And if you have any kind of common sense, you're not going to throw it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that you have to also have a little bit of common sense here. This guy, like you said, Tom, is sort of a career criminal. I don't think that there's any common sense or anything. So I don't know. People are desperate to just find any cause to just cause problems. And I saw those videos that they were ruining people's evenings and businesses, and they're standing around there and annoying everybody. It's like,
yeah, and that's the funny part is they're not standing outside a Target or Walmart and stopping people from going in, right? Where they would actually, you could actually have a corporation go, what the fuck's going on? Well, you guys do something here and, throw some money around. No, they're standing in front of local businesses and stuff, places that will get hurt by this.
Right.
Yeah. We have to remember the media has taught everyone not to respect authority. And so everyone's acting like a Karen. But yeah, they're really not thinking, how does throwing a temper tantrum, how does that benefit you in the moment?
All it does is piss people off.
Yeah.
My favorite videos of this white chick trying to get to her house, and there's these 3 or 4 black guys that won't let her through. And she's like, I just want to get home so I can come join you guys in the protest, but I got to get home first, and I just want to get through here. And that guy down there called me a cunt and all this other stuff. And it's like, do you think he gives a shit, lady? Like, he doesn't. And he pretty much says that in so many words. And he's just like, nobody's going to let you through. It's woke on woke crime, lady. Welcome to the program. And I could tell
French
you more
Revolution
shit about this
all over
guy.
Again.
Like I said, I mean, I could even tell you more about this guy that's even just...
I don't want to get into any trouble.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want to get into trouble. I actually feel like we may have discussed it more than we should have. But I don't disagree with the things you're saying, though, Tom. I just don't want to cause any trouble anywhere. But I understand the situation, and I generally agree with everything that you said.
Well said. Yeah.
He wants to keep the channel clean of
no, but he didn't have to mute his microphone. Tom, where are you?
Well, he has that auto mute.
I'm here.
Tom has the auto mute. He has the
No,
auto
I
mute
don't.
thing.
But
yeah.
I do it just
Oh, you
because
don't?
I don't want to be noisy if I'm typing and stuff.
Okay. In any case, I think that we've had a very nice stream. I want to thank Professor R2, who's completely redesigned himself and better than ever.
Beep boop.
He's a new man.
The new man. He identifies as a. What is it that you are?
Not a
now?
transformer. No.
Not a transformer. Want to thank our VIP guests. Istophobos, thank you for joining us. Mark D with a C, thank you for joining us. And of course, great to see you here, Tom. Always a pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For having
hanging
me.
out with you guys. Yeah.
Always a lot of fun. Yeah.
The professor has sent me some names of people on Rumble. Joe Higachi, Folsom Lockdown, Dude Bro Seth 420, Angelo DD, The Real Arthur Blake, Elizabeth Quince, God Bless 5697, Double R Star, Darren Mai, Deeple 101, Entropy Nomad, Antiderivative Jill, Istophobos 2. It's good that you're here. You're here really supporting us, Istophobos. Not Istophobos. Noel 2024, Hevel, Large Bird HQ, Lava Speed, Bring Stability, The Pope Live, and X Hair Bait. Thank you for joining us. And Professor, if you have some YouTube people that you want to shout out, then
Sure enough, yeah, lots of people joining us this evening. Our top 50 over on YouTube: Durkee McDurkface, Chad Chudwick, Kuna Ritchie, Six, Con Lives, James Caserta, Go Badgers, the Tetrarch of Apathy, E. Clay Thomason, Piggy in a Onesie, Neo, Ty McCullough, Marla Sharondoff, Gavin Unit, Emperor Goodwin, Darth Scipio, John 1Z1, Kira Runte, Douglas Nutt, Keely Chow, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Mr. Evil Dead Jameson, Hoot Owl, iLord Corey, Marquez 47, Proctophile, Fat Joe, Red Pilled Rants, Ethereal Dragon, RJ Godzilla, Yitis, Jason Webster, Darren M, Anti-Derivative Jill, Echo 32, Echo 7, Mark D with a C, Putin, Stephen Mack, Trev Toonart, Tim Hayes, 3412 AE, Whalem 03, Tomahawk 511, Caleb Levine, Istophobos, Kodo Rob, Big Sur River, and The Dead Man. And yes, we did get some support this evening. We got a Rumble rant from Elizabeth Quince over on Rumble, and then we got some super chats, 3 super chats, $2, $2, and $2 from The Dead Man. So thank you again for your support this evening. Think that's it, Price?
Yeah, I think we're good. And yeah, I think we can head out. Thanks for joining us. Today is Tuesday, and every Tuesday and Thursday, the Night Owl at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you here Thursday, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about when it comes to Spider-Man and things like that. So,
oh, yes.
Yeah.
We will see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.